Back to Marvelous Chats. Tonight on the podcast, we have Hoffman, we have Kyle Crunk, and Zebra Wolf. We're going to go through a lot of Spider-Man content today. Pretty much probably going to be all Spider-Man content today. We're going to be talking about the new trailer, breaking it down. I want to see what the guys think. My live reaction's up on the YouTube. I was live when it happened, so I had to throw it up there. And I want to see what the guys thought of the trailer. We might watch it again and break it down live. And we're going to go into the original 2 Tobey Maguire movies as well. So it's full-on content today. So I'm going to bring the guys in and let them introduce themselves. Let's go. Yo.
Pinto.
Hey man,
Yo, what's up, dudes?
Happy
What's up?
Saturday, my friend.
Oh man,
It's a rare Saturday. I know it's weird.
It's rare. I feel strange being here.
I know.
You feel Doctor Strange?
the Twitter feed when Nikki was like, "It's Friday," and you were like, "Wait."
I know. I was kind of lost for a second.
And
How's
with
everybody?
Nikki, you can't tell if he means it or not.
I know. You wouldn't know.
Dude,
how are you?
Crazy
dudes?
week for Spider-Man.
Oh, bro.
Good.
Crazy week.
Yeah.
I got done rewatching the Spider-Man movies, and like I just feel giddy again. You know what I mean? I know we're gonna talk about it a little bit, but I think that really set the tone of my week. I'm like, this is a good week. I got to watch both those movies. Got to hear Nickelback at the very end. This is going great.
Great song.
The rewatch. I'm gonna start off hot with this because I have been vocal in the past couple casts saying that I thought Tom's intro to Spider-Man movie was better than Tobey's, and this rewatch has convinced me otherwise. Tobey, I think they're very, very close, but Tobey's narrows it out, and I just want to list my few reasons for that off the start.
Do it,
Cast the proper Uncle Ben story, which is the only time we get it, and just literally like everything, like the build up to it isn't rushed. I feel like in every other one, that point of becoming Spider-Man is so rushed. Where with Tobey's, they took their time, they let him get into the character fully, and just like I forgot how good like Macho Man Randy Savage was.
He's the
You got
best.
3 minutes with me, 3 minutes of playtime. And he
Yeah.
like does the finger wave. It's so good, dude.
I'm so sad he's gone because like I would
I
love for
know.
him to reprise that role. Like it'd be so
as like
good.
an actual villain.
Yeah.
Everybody in the crowd with the freaking
Bootsa!
so
Oh,
it's
dude.
so good.
It is. It's incredible. It's a fantastic movie. Like everything about it. It just brings me back when I watch it. It brings me back to my childhood. I think I was like fucking 12 years old when that movie came out or something like that, and it was just the perfect time to be getting obsessed with like live action superhero movies because they were just like, not that they're not magical now, but they were just so magical back then. Like, you know, and like CGI wasn't what it is today, and it was just so spectacular just to see him like web slinging and catching on walls, and the CGI in the movie even today still holds up. I think it's great. I think Sam Raimi gets the character, gets the stories, gets the villains. I just think it's a really well
You think
told.
the CGI holds up?
Yeah,
doesn't.
man. I think it
Oh,
does.
come on.
I think it does.
Dude,
man.
no,
I think it's
dude.
made in
The
2002.
glider is
It's
so
obvious.
bad, dude. The glider's so
No.
bad.
No, how dare
Like
you?
it's
so
fun,
bad.
right? It's
How
fun,
dare you.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's not like
It's so bad. Don't say that shit holds up. That's like saying Star Wars Episode 1 CGI holds up. It doesn't. A lot of it doesn't.
I don't know, bro. I felt like this was pod racing.
Like go watch Lord of the Rings. Go watch Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, and tell me that CGI holds up, and I'll punch you in the throat. It
I
doesn't.
think a lot of
bro. It
Lord
just
of the
doesn't.
Rings was actually like real though, right? It was like prosthetics
Yeah,
and shit. It
but-
wasn't actually CGI.
Yeah. Well, they had a decent bit of CGI in the like. That's why it stands out so much in those movies because it wasn't that good back then. Whereas today, you're like, wait, what's CGI? What's not? You can't tell today really. Back then, you'd be like, plain as day, pointed out. Yeah, I'm with Hoffman here. It sticks out real
I'll
bad.
say the acting in the first movie was like pretty rough to get through. Like I thought it was fun, but like I don't know if it was editing or what because it was all fixed in the second one. But I thought like the first movie was like very almost cringy. A lot of the way a lot of the dialogue was written and cut. Like it felt almost like prequel Star Wars, where it just like felt like a little awkward, a little there, and then seeing Tobey Maguire's dumb face do it. He
I
has
can't.
the worst faces
Yeah.
in all of Hollywood, man.
I cannot wait for you to watch Spider-Man 3 next then, if you think the acting's bad in this one.
I have to
Second one
agree with
had
that.
good acting. Second one was great. It was just fine, but the first one, Even
What-
our boy William Dafoe was like, when he jumps up after he becomes the Green Goblin and jumps up.
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah, just a hiss. Yeah.
Hoffman,
Oh,
you'll
it's
know
so
this
good, dude.
answer instantly.
It's so
What's
good.
that dude's name from Army of the Dead? Ash from Army of the Dead. What's that actor's name?
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce
I
Campbell.
forgot Bruce Campbell was in this movie.
He's
dude,
in
and
every-
I saw
he's
him
in
again
the
I was
He's in
like,
all three.
He's in all
videos.
three. He plays a different character in all three.
Yeah.
Because him and Sam
Dude,
Raimi are bros.
Yeah.
That's so good.
But you know, the original plan for the fourth movie was that he would be Mysterio, and the reason why he was there the whole time is because it was all illusions.
Oh. Yes, in the theater
Oh.
background. Oh yeah, that is Mysterio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did they
so-
never get a fourth? What happened with those three just at
They
the
made the third.
as of three? Touche, never
Yeah,
mind. Sorry, that was a dumb question.
The third really, really, really hurt them, and they were like, "Shit, we
Sometimes they
need
say
to
they are no
recast."
dumb questions. Why didn't they make a fourth Spider-Man? Is a dumb question. My bad, guys.
I think a fourth Spider-Man movie will happen. I think it's going to come
You
after
think
this.
so?
You think
Oh,
that
yeah.
they'll bring back Tobey for a four?
I think
Or you
Raimi's
think they bring
I think
back-
Raimi's
you-
getting his fourth movie.
Do you think they'll give what's his name, Andrew, his third
I think so.
too?
Yeah.
I think we're getting it all.
I don't see why. Yeah, I really don't see why not.
I mean, if
they're
Sony
bringing
wants to go for a
everyone
big
back.
enough cash
You're
grab,
reckless.
I think Sony might. If they want to go for a big enough cash grab, it's free money.
Like,
Especially if
just-
if this Spider-Man pops off as hard as they are expecting it to, it's cash money at this.
well,
it's
just
pretty funny.
just look at the internet right now and look at the amount of love that Andrew Garfield is getting on the internet, and look at the amount of love that Tobey
Dude,
Maguire is getting on the internet.
He is getting.
It's
They are getting welcomed
in-
back with open fucking arms.
It's insane, and like
And honestly,
Spider-Man 3
Andrew
was awful.
deserves it.
Spider-Man 3 was awful, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was awful, but everyone wants those guys to get another movie each. Like,
And,
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was so awful that they had to reconstruct Jamie Foxx's
Which one is?
character.
Yeah, Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx. I
Yeah, no,
honestly
that was
don't like
so
the
bad.
way. I don't like. One of my favorite actors is Jake Gyllenhaal. He's been in a lot of movies that I've enjoyed. I fucking hated him, Spider-Man. Didn't work for me for some reason. I don't know why.
JJ,
That
I
just-
thought he was fantastic. Absolutely love
I
him.
think it's one of the best parts of that movie. Honestly, he's like,
I don't,
Well, I
maybe
think that really makes
it's
sense
the
in
way
front of
that
that.
character. Maybe I don't know. It
I can't
just
remember his
felt
stunning
weird.
eyes.
Maybe it's maybe I was just lost in his eyes and I couldn't really pay attention to the movie. You're absolutely
I thought he
right,
was
sir.
fantastic. I just love every speech that he has in the film is just incredible acting.
Well, yeah, because it's Jake fucking Gyllenhaal. Fucking.
He's illusioned.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it is. I think it might be the third one, but it's where his assistant has like a buzzer on the desk, and his desk shakes when he gets angry. And it's like, he can't. They think he's gonna drop dead, like, because he's like such high blood pressure.
Oh yeah, he's taking BP meds.
Yeah.
Didn't,
Bet-
do you have
bet
your
he's
early
hitting the
tickets
button
already
for-
purchased?
I can't purchase them yet, but
Yeah,
I am.
okay.
But I am getting to see the movie a whole 2 days before you guys.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to make sure you had. I bet those are gonna sell out quick though.
Yeah. No, I'll get them.
I
don't
bet
worry.
those first 2 days, those 2 early days, are gonna be like a couple hours.
I'm probably gonna take a day off work and go see it like at 11 o'clock in the morning or something. Yeah,
That'd be primo.
I know. I'd love like
You
I'd
gonna
love.
get American Emily to take off too?
Well, I'd love to
Or
go
you gonna have to
see.
get solo?
I'd love to go see it at midnight, but she can't do the whole midnight thing anymore. So it's just
I mean, if,
it's
if
too
you-
much.
If you both have to take off a day of work to see it at 11, and maybe only one of you has to take off a day of work for you to both see it at midnight, maybe go with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
We'll
it's
see.
a
I,
good.
I need to talk to her about it. But yeah, like I'll have definitely seen it as quick as possible, and I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna definitely throw up.
Why are you worried about spoilers?
No, I'm gonna be the one doing the spoiling this time. We're getting the UK and Ireland. We're getting our revenge for having Venom absolutely fucked on us.
What's there left? What's there left to spoil though? I'm just wondering.
No, I know. I'm just gonna put up in
Invisible punches and shit.
the YouTube video is just gonna be entitled "They Are in It."
Yeah,
Can we agree this is the worst cover up of like spoilers that has ever been attempted in the history of movie theater media? With the technology we have these days, and with the fact that they can like turn a piece of pizza into like a model on Photoshop, how did they fuck this up so bad?
It's so funny,
It's
dude.
bad.
Like the Sony Brazil trailer, like having like Lizard
An arm in it.
getting kicked in the head or something by like an invisible person. Like it's just like, come on, guys, for fuck's sake! You know the amount of people that break these things down frame by frame. Like it's just like you can't be doing that shit. Like And like I don't know if
It's
you guys
Brazil. They take naps during the daytime, man. You know what I mean? They take it, it's not as serious over there as it is everywhere else.
I know, but like, come on, Sony, like it's crazy. Like, I don't know if you saw, there was a bunch of videos as well going around of like, I don't know if you saw the video of Tom Holland reacting to him watching the trailer for the first time, and you can see like he's visibly confused watching some of the scenes, and it's just like he's like,
wait a second,
where are they? Where are they? Like, it's so funny, dude. So good. I don't know. Do you guys want to watch the trailer now and kind of break it down and discuss it, and then we can move into like the Tobey movies in depth, or what you want to do?
Sure.
Up to you.
Yeah.
Kyle,
You wanna
or
put up,
somebody pull up the trailer there. Just
Alex is designated pull up
yeah,
guy.
Alex, you got
Oh
it.
God.
Pull up, Alex. He's
All
our
right, hold
Jamie.
on.
Yeah, you're the Jamie I was about to say.
Young
Pull it up, Jamie.
Alex. Pull it up. Pull it up, young Alex.
All right.
We're gonna call him Fingers Hoffman. Come on,
Let's
Fingers. Pull it up.
He's on Windows 11, man. He has the fastest PC out of all of us now.
Exactly.
He's a brave man.
Come on,
I'm
Windows
too
11 fingers that.
I'm too afraid to do the upgrade.
Oh, dude, I highly recommend the upgrade for sure.
Bro, come on, step into the future. It's not.
scared,
It's
I'm
not
scared.
Terminator Judgment Day, bro.
No, I'm scared.
All right.
I don't want to have to like
let's
redo all my binds and everything for everything. I just have a feeling it'll go wrong somewhere.
No, actually, everything was left exactly the same way. Nothing.
How long did
nothing,
it take overall?
I don't know. I went to go pick
Did it
up Katie
overnight?
and then came back and it
Okay.
was done.
That's
So
not-
I would say like an hour and a half at the most.
All right, I'm ready when you guys are.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Here
Let's
we
get
go.
it.
Ever since I got bit
This
by that
movie's gonna be
spider,
full of such tragedy. Can't wait.
I've only had 1 week where my life has felt normal. That was when you found out.
When you botched that spell where you wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Do you notice he says Spider-Man there instead of Spider-Man?
I remember you mentioned like the
Yeah, I was like, what's he doing with his mouth? Go back, Alex. Listen to it again. Seriously, watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it.
Spell where you wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Benedict Cumberbatch does not talk like that. He's one of the most well-spoken people on the planet.
If he's trying to be
Oh,
American.
okay, I gotta pause you right there, dude. He had a hard time saying penguins. Like he
What?
kept constantly saying penguins.
Some people have trouble with certain words. Chill. Why we got
Yeah, no.
kink shame?
There's no way
Benedict
that
Cumberbatch?
this is being recut. Like it's from a different. Like it's not the same word. I bet you. Like it's
It's
later on in that.
Spider-Man.
Later on in that conversation, he says Spider-Man.
Why
All
we
right.
never got Spooderman? Not one time, man.
I know. Go on. Continue.
From every universe.
I love that suit so much. It's fire.
Hello, Peter.
A lot of people are saying the CGI here is shit. I think it's pretty good.
No.
It's,
I mean, it's gonna look good full screen, I think, in the theater.
I love that he's absorbing the Iron Spider suit.
Wait, no, seriously.
See the way he's got all the Stark tech on it.
Mm.
The cap and shield,
I
so
hated that
fantastic.
scene.
Send them back. So,
Yeah, how dare you laugh at Otto?
You know, all this is kind of your mess. I know
This
a
is
couple
cringy.
magic words myself.
Yeah, it's so bad. I hate her.
Word,
I hope she dies.
Man. What?
I would love her to bounce her head off the ground in the movie.
Oh my god, dude.
No, seriously, I think her dying would be fantastic for the character.
you're flying out.
I also
And then we get to read
like
the
Doctor
meat.
Strange is-
We get to meet the real Mary Jane Watson. Then are
They all die.
I'm sorry. What was that?
you talking to me?
Yeah, like I heard Hoffman. I wanted to hear what he said.
Oh, I thought Doctor Strange saying like you need to Scooby do this. I just felt it was so cringy.
Oh.
Like I just think it's like weird, like awkward dialogue.
Everything
Yeah,
about that
it's-
scene. Everything about
It's
it.
just way too much.
And
Maybe it
like,
hits
I
differently
know
when
a
you're
few
watching
magical
it.
words too, starting with please.
Yeah, like,
like,
he's
shut
fucking
up.
the Sorcerer Supreme.
She
All right,
quickly became such a loved actress. Like, she's popping up everywhere now, man.
I'm just gonna
I mean,
say
she-
she's pretty bad. She did nothing in Dune.
Yeah, Dune,
Nothing.
she was not
Nothing.
good.
She was advertised as if she was like one of the main actresses. She had about 3 minutes of fucking screen time. And yeah, she just looked intensively at the camera while there
Yeah,
was
with the
music
blue
playing.
eyes.
It was
blue
fucking
eyes with the
yard stares.
contrasted
Terrible.
desert background. Good acting, bro.
I'm yet to see good acting out of her. She's not good in this trilogy either.
You said I wanted to bounce her head off the ground. You
I want
That's
her to have a
horrible.
Gwen Stacy moment.
I'm sorry, kid.
You're a fucking savage.
Don't.
So yeah, my prediction about that was right.
Look, there has to be another way.
There isn't. They're a danger to our universe.
Can you pause it for a second and go back to
What do you need?
Aunt May running out of the building? So she's running out of Oscorp, and she's
Like,
a little further. There,
is it right around here?
You're not gonna take this away from
Or is it a little bit further back?
it's back.
Let's go right here.
Look, there has
So you'll see she's running out of there. She's running out of the Oscorp building, and she's got one of the syringes, the Oscorp syringes that gave like Willem Dafoe his power.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah.
And then in the first
They-
trailer, you know the way Happy's in the car and he looks really worried. That car's outside the building that gets exploded, so people are saying that it's either going to be Happy and Aunt May that die, or potentially both.
I liked
Yeah.
your prediction on Happy. I think Happy's one of the more meaningful characters that they could actually kind of get rid of. That makes a big impact to
Yeah.
main characters like
Like-
reacting to it, because he's met most of the main cast at this point that are
Like-
still left in the MCU.
Tom Holland has said that this movie is like grim and it's just devastating. So like we know we're losing at least like one person, at least one.
Right.
Maybe
and
they
they've shot 5
fully
different
kill
endings
off.
as well.
Maybe they fully kill off Toby and no, because they might be doing extra movies with them. I would say maybe they fully kill off Toby and Andrew or something like that.
Yeah, so I think Andrew maybe, although I don't know. I think they might have plans for him, but I think it would.
Dude,
make,
if they did
it would
Andrew
make
dirty
sense.
again like that, I'd be mad.
It would kind of poetically make sense for Andrew to die. Like, you know, he saves MJ. You know, the fall at the end. It's like
like
he
a
corrects.
reversal?
He corrects his wrong. He like redeems himself and then sacrifices himself in the.
And then
future.
maybe she's the MJ in this universe, and you get Zendaya's head bounced off the ground.
Or Toby's the one who sacrifices himself for her because it's like he lost his MJ and he doesn't want Tom to lose his, you know? So it's all
Yeah.
these kind of symmetries and stuff. And it all kind of works.
I would say my prediction of that scene is that MJ's fallen and Andrew goes to save her.
Yes.
But Andrew's always supposed to lose MJ because they talk about how all these villains are always supposed to die to Peter Parker. So I think fate is going to be a big deal in this movie. And so Andrew's always supposed to lose MJ. That's his fate, right? As a entity in the universe. And then Tom Holland's Peter Parker saves her, like, because, you know, he's not that one.
It's a different universe.
Yeah.
I think if she dies, then he gets a chance later on to meet Mary Jane Watson, like, you know, because that's his true love. Like, it's not fucking whatever.
Before we continue though, I wanted to mention like the arm right here. How you mentioned the Stark tech. We have a nice close up right here, and we can see how like we already have the red and gray from the Stark tech, and it looks fantastic actually. Like, I think it's gonna look really good in theaters when we actually get to see the movement of it. And then you can see like his glasses. I can't remember what kind of shades those are called, but
Is he CGI?
They're Doculus.
Young. Well, I don't know what you
Yes,
call that. Is he
de-aged.
CGI enhanced to look? Yeah,
big
de-aged.
time DH.
Yeah, I'd say because he fucking looks pretty
He's
good. I wanna
old,
see
bro.
Yeah,
He's
Well,
old.
that's
now.
why I think he looks weird. That's why I think the CGI looks weird. Is because
he almost
of his
looks
de-aging.
younger than he almost looks like younger than the OG movie.
right. But I mean, well, how did you guys feel about Samuel Jackson in the Captain Marvel?
Fantastic. He looked amazing.
It worked really well.
It was phenomenal.
yeah.
And
They pulled off that-
Coulson was even more impressive.
They pulled
Coulson
off
looked
that Pulp
22.
Fiction look
Like,
for Samuel L. Jackson really well. Like that's all they had to do is make him look that Pulp Fiction look, and GG. And that's kind of what they did for that, I think.
My hope though is that they decide to give him like a suit that resembles the comic stuff because they're going kind of ham on
Like the
on
commando
Electro-
suit.
Yeah, because they went ham on the Electro suit.
oh yeah.
So hopefully we
That's
get
why
to
I
see that as
mentioned.
well.
That's why I mentioned it last week. That like I wasn't sure if he was technically enhanced or not because every time I see him mention the comics, he's always like, oh, it seems a lot smarter than we've seen. I mean, they make him pretty smart in the MCU, but he also seems like I think I've seen it mentioned once or twice that he was one of the first projects 1 through 10 before they got to Wolverine or whatever. He was one of those first projects, like Captain America's Project 1 or whatever. Wolverine's 10. He was somewhere in between there. Just what I thought I saw somewhere. I could be misplacing information, but
I never followed Doc Ock that extensively.
oh no, I was talking about fucking what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson, Fury.
Oh,
Thought
Sam
that's who you were
Jackson.
talking about his suit. Yeah, because I know he has like a suit kind of in the comics where it looks more commando than his current stuff.
I'll have to take a deeper dive on that one.
Yeah, I think he might be one of those projects. Sorry, yeah. Let's get back to the trailer.
Yeah, let's go.
And we're back.
You're not gonna take this away from me. Peter, you're struggling. Damn it.
That's so good.
What? While the world tries to make you choose.
This is all my fault. I can't save everyone.
Boom.
Finto's like, no.
It's Andrew's hand. Pause it on the hand. It's Andrew's suit.
Pause it on the end.
Do
Pause
it.
it on the fucking
Quarter speed me,
fingers.
baby. Andrew, what's up?
Like right when
that
I.
is.
Yeah,
You
you know
can
you
tell
gotta
because the
you gotta
blue,
you gotta
the
quarter
red and
speed it, dude.
blue.
Yeah.
It's the
Oh.
blue that you don't have in like. Hey, look, his suit doesn't have that
God
blue
damn.
at all.
Let's do half speed.
Yeah, and like,
Huh?
do you notice the way Tom's looking up at him? This is a different part, like
Right about there.
tiny
Oh.
bit more, tiny bit more. Yeah, so like I've seen people like throw up like the contrast and stuff, and you can actually see there's a little tiny just by where the thumb is. There's the little black piece that was connected to Andrew's web shooters there as well. Like that is Andrew's hand, like 100%.
Yeah, when I first saw that hand in the trailer, like first hand, I was like, that's not Tom's at all. Like even the fingers just remind me of Andrew Garfield's suit.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I just went and pulled up his suit from his movies, and like he has blue fingertips in his.
is it blue?
suit.
they
Am I-
his
oh,
They
his
have
my
red,
suit
and then they're blue
his
tips.
suit's blue in the first movie, but it changes for the second film. His hands look more like that in the second movie, Andrew's 2nd movie.
Because I know they wanted
Okay.
to do a more sleek design during that time, and that's why they wanted to add more blue to it.
I don't know. I think it's still a mystery. I'm looking at his hands from the second one, and like he doesn't have that blue in his palm in the second movie. What a mystery this is! Woo!
Well, this is
Yeah, now I'm-
it's
Suzanne,
clearly
it really is.
it's clearly just been replaced. You know, like
Uh,
it'll change. Like we're led to believe. Like if you go back a couple of more steps, we're led to believe that it's Tom catching him. I guarantee you, it will not be Tom.
So you're saying like
yeah,
around
see right there. So here, right? See the way Tom. This is Tom. Like there. See him. That's clearly Tom, right? But this can all be changed.
Yeah, that's very true because they did change out the Hulk with the Hulk Buster.
Yeah, and they changed like Tom's suit in the second movie from his original suit to the Iron Spider suit at the beginning of the second film. Like they make changes like this all the time. New Rockstars did a complete breakdown of this trailer, and it's fantastic. He goes into such incredible detail on all the stuff. Like you can see, like he did it frame by frame, and he's like, you can see airbrushes here where they've taken out the other Spider-Man, like where he lands on top of like Lady Liberty's head. You can clearly see like smudges in the background where the other Spider-Man like land behind him like 2 seconds later. It's fucking ridiculous. Like I just like don't know why they bothered. It's just such a fail.
It's such a wide shot there, and the MCU does not do wide takes like that. You know?
Yeah. Like
They try and get as tight as they can on all their shots.
Watch the very last bit here where you see them all diving, all the villains. It's like you can clearly see that the Lizard is diving, but he's nowhere near Tom at all. Like this scene here, look, he's going to attack somebody. Tom's fucking way above him, and Electro's on top, and he's trying to attack somebody from the top. You know, like they're clearly all three people fighting somebody else, and Sandman is fighting Tom because you'll see in the next clip he does a dive over the fist and then jumps straight down. So they're clearly fighting three people. Like it's ridiculous.
How do y'all feel about the revamp of Electro?
I like it. I think it's cool.
Just from we don't see much so far, but yeah.
I think it's very cool.
Dude, the blue skin Electro was real bad.
Yeah, I think when he first comes into the movie, he's going to be blue, and then he actually changes during the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he starts absorbing yellow lightning. or yellow electricity. Sorry, but
Maybe he has powers changed because he enters a different universe or something.
if anybody has seen any of the leaks, which I presume we all have at this stage,
I've skipped. No, I've literally dodged them, bro.
well,
I see like new Rockstars videos and then I skip them.
all of these fake videos are all the pictures of Andrew Garfield and everything are them in scaffolding, like so. And this is the final. This is the big fight. This is the big final fight, like so. It's a
Right.
bit of a fucking giveaway. They should have.
Yeah, because
they should
there's
have
no
kept
pincer attack
this
on it.
shot should not have been included in the trailer whatsoever. If they wanted to really keep the mystery alive, they should not have shown us any scaffolding at all, because that's where all the leaks are coming from. That big fucking final
and that's
fight.
where they're all sitting. Yeah.
I hope it's just like the guy who get hit by a lizard, just like Captain Falk.
I would be so pissed off if Sam flew in right now and took that moment away from us.
Pinto walks out. Pinto walks out at the middle movie. Fuck this.
Yeah,
slams his
popcorn in the air.
It'd be my dream, bro.
Do you guys think we're gonna see Venom in this though? Because we've seen nothing about Venom, but yet we had that post-credit scene.
Yeah,
Because what I've been reading up on recently or watching up on is Red Goblin, and I'd really fucking love to see Red Goblin.
Is this Ned?
In the-
Ned is the goblin?
No, Red Goblin is when Norman Osborn can't become the Goblin anymore because like I think his legs are broken or something, and then he gets through his money and power, he gets Carnage, and then he absorbs Carnage, and that makes him.
Oh my
and he can like literally breathe fucking fire, and he's got little his goblin bombs like laugh and talk to you, shit to you while he throws them and stuff. It's fucking gnarly.
That sounds insane.
Red
I've heard a lot of people talking about like the very end scene where it's always the thing, Spider-Man has to make the choice, and it's like it looks like Ned and MJ are both gonna fall, and like people are saying that like he's gonna pick MJ, and then maybe Ned gets seriously injured, doesn't die, but then grows to hate Peter and becomes the Hobgoblin.
You're gonna have to get skinny.
He is getting very skinny though. He's like,
I haven't seen recent pictures of him,
bro. Even at the start of this trailer, you see him the scenes where he's in like the football jacket or whatever. He like looks half the size he was in the first film. Like
are they best friends in like real life too?
I think they're pretty close. Yeah. I think he's genuinely. I'd say he's lost half of his body mass, like from the first film to now. Like he's looking
good
real
for him, man.
He's looking real good.
What do you think about let's say this, and this scene right here, you don't see Doc Ock after like the initial him in the movie.
Yeah.
What if he's actually on Peter's side in this scene right here?
I think he is.
So they're editing that out.
I think he
that
is.
would make sense.
I think he is as well.
And I
if
think
any of them would be on his side, that would make sense that it's him, and it would also make sense to have this that like ties the Stark tech in that we see.
Yeah. I think he is. I think he does, because he had at the end of the movie, as we know, he kind of had a bit of a redemption arc. So I wonder, if he's just fighting at the start of the movie, just through confusion or whatever, and he doesn't, doesn't know where he is, and then he starts absorbing the Stark tech, and then maybe the Stark tech will change his kind of perception of the world.
That scene we see where he goes, "What's your name?" and they're like, "That's not your real name," or like that's so lighthearted. I feel like that's kind of where he pieces it all together when he's like, "Wait, you're not my Peter." So like he's like, "Well, I have a problem with my Peter, not you. So I don't really have a problem with you." And then they talk it out, figure it out. So I feel like we already kind of see that moment that they're gonna take sides, because that's too lighthearted and jokey. If it's a actual like the Doc Ock from Spider-Man 1 in that confrontation would grab you by the throat and have you up against the wall.
I think what might happen is that the only way that I see Doc Ock continuing to be in the movie would be if Tobey is in it, and then maybe he is just trying to attack Tobey only, sort of thing. Because like from what a lot of people are saying is, they're not going to show up in the last 10 minutes of the movie. They're actually going to be in the movie for quite a bit. So like they appear in the second act, and they're going to be in a lot of the film. So I would say if we're going to see Doc Ock at all, I think it's going to be him going against Tobey only. I think him and Andrew have probably sorted their shit out. Or him and Tom, sorry.
I mean, well, what about Doctor Strange? Like this whole time we've been talking about the Spider-Man. Like, what about Doctor Strange?
Don't you mean Mephisto, sir?
We don't know if it's Mephisto.
We don't know that yet. It's definitely Mephisto.
But regardless of like where is he stationed at? Is he going to be trying to just take from Peter, or is he going to attack Peter in the end game? because he has to get that cube back, which I still don't know what that is.
That's
But,
the device that basically Peter's given to transport the Six into the prison underneath the sanctum. And then basically he finds out, as we've seen in the trailer, he finds out that each of these people, it's their fate to die to Spider-Man. Tom Holland says, well, we're going to try and change that. I can't kill these people because Tom Holland has never killed anybody. So, he doesn't have that over his conscience. So he's going to try and help them or free them. And I think that's obviously where it leads to Strange and Tom getting into a fight, because we've seen that footage of them fighting on the train and so on, and when he's trying to get the cube back and everything. But how long do they stay against each other? Who knows? It looks like they're working with each other towards the end. When I don't know about the end. Like, what do you guys perceive that's happening at the very end? It looks like the purple is kind of like what the MCU is depicting as dark magic, or is it Kang? Is it something like, they're coming through? Is it like, is this the Kangs coming through? Is it? It's definitely not
chaos magic, maybe.
Yeah,
because they've made a specific mention to the chaos magic a couple times now.
Where's it
And
placed?
that
it's
also
at the
ties in with
very
the
very
Darkhold.
end. Yeah. So like,
and that also ties in with the Darkhold, which ties in with Strange. I think that's got to be the chaos magic.
Yeah, I don't know if the chaos magic is red though, because it's Wanda, right?
Well, you see Agatha Harkness using her magic.
Hers is purple, and then the energy that we see around the Darkhold, I think at one point, is purple too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not
And
sure.
Yeah.
But chaos magic is effectively like only pertains to Wanda at this point. So we don't really see anything else other than Wanda using chaos magic. So if anything, if this is any kind of magic from anyone, it's got to be from Agatha Harkness or from her coven like type magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think Doctor Strange is afraid of Agatha. Like, he looks
No.
he looks petrified here, and he's like, they are coming.
Isn't Galactus purple? Ooh.
Galactus is purple with like red. I think a few like red or magenta streaks or something.
You think they're bringing Galactus in this movie, Kyle?
No,
Not at all.
Not at all. No. give us a bit of volume there and just play this last bit, Alex.
All right, no problem.
I'm just thinking, who's purple?
And I can't stop him.
Maybe it's Hawkeye.
December 7th.
It's Kate Bishop, bro.
ready for that.
It's Kate Bishop, bro.
Just
Shoot arrows in the sky as the trails.
it's just them coming through with the car, and they're like, I still don't know what I'm shooting.
It's Aquafina with that fucking magic bow from Shang-Chi.
Oh my god, fuck off, dude.
I watched
It's just so
that.
horrible,
I watched
though.
that again last weekend at IMAX, and I was just like, I can't believe she hit that fucking shot.
Man, I gotta be honest. As way the trailers go, this did not get me excited. I posted on Twitter about it, but like, I was not excited about from this trailer. I thought it was, and maybe just because we've seen so much of this movie already, right? And like speculated. But I was like, okay, like that's that. I didn't like them disrespecting Doc Ock and his fucking awesome name. And like, bold joke coming from Peter Parker, you little dork.
Yeah, I think that
I didn't
really
like this-
that really shows their immaturity, right?
Yeah,
Like, really.
it's just this like constant need from like the MCU or like the writers of this movie specifically to like wink at the audience, like, we know this is stupid too. Like, just like, believe the world you're in, please. Like, believe the world. Like, Doc Ock is a crazy, like, it's a cool name. He's terrifying. These kids would be petrified of him. In some sort of way. I didn't like, what they did. The Scooby Doo joke felt weird.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like kind of a all right movie, and I felt or all right trailer, and I didn't feel like the CGI was
It's
that great in it, man.
It's not finished.
Like,
it's definitely not. Look at
I think
even
all
what we're
of that-
paused on. Look what we're paused on. That looks terrible.
yeah.
It's
I think
not.
all
It's
the
not
best
finished.
CGI is going to be the Inception type shit anyway, and we don't see much of that in any of this. And I think I don't know if you're the same way. I think we might be on that same wavelength, Hoffman, where that's the kind of stuff we're looking forward to the most. That like Inception, multiversal kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking forward to, because I see that and I'm just like, it's like collide.
That's all really cool, and I love that type of stuff. But like this scene right here, you can tell he's standing on a green screen in the very beginning of it when Peter opens up like the Sanctum Sanctorum, whatever. You can tell that's a green screen. Like, you
Exposure's
just
just
tell.
so different from it. It looks so copy and pasted.
And like maybe they just have to redo the maybe they just got to redo it and like take another pass at it to make all the tones like agree with each other. But But for a movie that's been delayed as much as it has, for these to be the effects right now, it's, it's like, okay, well, we'll see what the finished product
We're
is.
actually
like, hopefully they fix
gonna
it.
have Benedict on the podcast next week, and we're gonna ask him the hard questions. Benedict, did you really climb the Statue of Liberty? Tell us here now.
There's actually 2 shots in this trailer. One of them from just before I think he's on the train, and the other one is just at the start of this sequence here, and it's clearly the same shot, and it's just his like face inverted the other way to like look right instead of left. It's ridiculous. It's the same fucking shot, like just with a different background.
We'll have to see.
I'm not gonna really trust I almost kind of avoid the trailers. Like I don't go out of my way to try to see them anymore. I still haven't seen a lot of like the Disney Plus Day trailers, just due to the fact like, what was the last movie that Eternals, where like they cut things. They're cutting so much out now that it's like I don't want to get invested in anything anymore. Like I don't want to see something and be like, oh, that's kind of cool, get invested, and then it just doesn't show up in the movie. Like,
yep.
So I just kind of wait to see the final product at this point, especially with like anything Marvel or MCU.
Yeah.
I think there's
the only thing
so funny in this scene, real quick. Like MCU is notorious for really dark CGI scenes you can barely make out. And like, look at this. It's just a fucking muddled mess.
Yeah.
Like I can barely make out Strange. I can barely make out the Statue of Liberty. Like what
it
is
looks like
that?
Luke Skywalker in space. Like the way the blacks contrast with each other, the way his black contrasts with the black behind him. It's like 70s CGI green screen.
it is pretty shocking.
The only reason why I'm giving this benefit of the doubt is because it's a trailer on YouTube, and therefore it's compressed differently.
True.
And so I want to like once we see it on the big screen, I'm pretty sure it'll look better, but hopefully it doesn't look almost exactly the same as if we're watching the trailer.
Fenta, are you gonna be seeing an IMAX?
Oh yeah.
When you go?
Amen.
Oh, buddy.
The only way.
The only one. The IMAX is pretty far from me. I have like one of those XDs that has like the really good digital. It's a bigger than normal screen, but the actual IMAX is pretty far.
Yeah, I gotta travel about like 20 miles for it, but it's worth it.
Oh yeah. Is that the one that you said has the recliners? Do they have recliners in the IMAX?
Every single seat in the screen is leather recliner. It's amazing. We all got our own little like fold out table that like goes like it comes in front of you like and big drink holder and everything. It's perfection. It's the only way I want to see the movie.
All right, can we've been on this 3-minute trailer for like 40 minutes. You guys want to finish it out, or
this trailer deserves our time, to be honest. Like this is the hot topic of the week. Like
I can't stand to look at this fucking scene anymore.
Yeah,
dude.
play the rest.
All right.
I think we got a really bad pause screen.
No, it's not getting better
That's
as you
it.
play it. It didn't get better. I just couldn't look at that anymore.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to buy these games,
Yeah, I got them already.
That are
Yeah,
way better
squeeze
than
that
our movies.
Here, put that cast reaction thing on real quick. I just want to like just watch Tom Holland's face the whole time. It's
Is he
so
confused himself?
He's so
Damn,
confused,
that
bro.
does look good.
Oh, we
Let's
need-
go, man.
do we need to find the full one?
No, this is it.
No, I think it was the way it was filmed.
Oh, do it, my guy.
You see
Look for
Look at his
eyebrow
face. He's like, "What's
reaction.
going on
Yeah,
here?"
He's confused.
He's like,
wait,
we're missing something.
why is he doing the dip thing? He doesn't.
That's how snap, son.
Oh my goodness.
No, Tom's hitting the drugs pretty hard. I'm not lying.
Tom's got that cocaine.
Jesus, bro. Yeah, he really does though.
Lee Maloney's a superstar.
What's that other guy? What's that other guy that got huge in the? Was it the Star Wars guy? Wasn't there some?
Isn't it like half of Hollywood?
No, there was one guy specifically like he got big off one. Oh, it was the guy from Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, he got caught in like LA airport with a shit ton of coke in his arse pocket. It's like, what are you doing, dude?
That guy.
He was going to a premiere,
Just had a whole had
Fully-
like an 8-ball in his pocket, dude. Chilling.
fully kitted.
That's just bad staff work, man. Like, who's a producer on that movie? Let all the people know, like, hey, we're gonna have it ready for you guys. Just get through the
Yeah.
airport, all right? Don't bring it with you.
Don't bring it with you. This is not BYOC. Don't bring your own cocaine. We've got it.
Yeah, hilarious. Yeah, like I don't know, like I as sad as I was to not see another Spider-Man in that trailer, I was actually kind of happy with the trailer. I thought it was like it gave us a lot. You know, it was amazing seeing all of the villains back, and it just looked great. So I don't know, I definitely was very happy with the trailer, but you know, I obviously want more.
I feel like at this point, I'm done. I don't want to look at any more
Just see
Spider-Man
just see
stuff.
final project.
Just yeah, I'm done.
I'm the
I'm
same
tired
place
of
as
hearing
you.
all these spoilers or any of these rumors. And the thing that you just told me about Finto, I'm trying to shove it out of my head because I don't even want to be told the story. Like if you're gonna spoil so much of the story for me, I might as well not go watch it anymore.
That's absolutely ridiculous. You have to go
No,
watch
I
it.
think
got it.
I think they shot themselves in the foot with waiting to release the trailer so long because they literally gave everyone to like speculate everything that they could speculate, and then they said, "All right, now here's all your speculations. What's different between these two pictures? Here's our trailer." And everybody already had their speculations to look for in the trailer, so it's like they all web sleuthed it up instantly because they're like, "We don't have much time yet," and it's like they're trying to decode every little bit of it because it's just they waited till the 9th hour.
I feel like they're bootstrapping this trailer. Like I feel like they're like cutting it like so close on actually having it ready, like all the CGI rendered, everything ready to go, and like they're getting it done and putting it out like 2 days later. Like it's just, I think that's why the mistake where where you can see the guy get punched from the Brazilian trailer. I think that's why those little mistakes slip through is because they're just cutting it so close on all these deadlines.
Isn't it always like Brazil and South America that fuck up their trailers? Like always, dude. Like their promotions
ridiculous.
and their trailers are always spoilers. Always. Like get it fucking right down there, guys. Come on.
They're like, all right, clip it and ship it.
I think it's done on purpose, bro. I don't think anything happens
think so?
I don't think anything happens by accident.
They're major trolls down there. They're like, fuck these guys.
I really don't think anything happens by accident.
Oh, you conspiracy nut. Like, you know how incompetent people are at all levels? Like,
At every level.
if you could just explain it's because someone's dumb who works with them, that's usually the explanation.
Do you
There's
think like
just some like a trailer
Dipshit.
producer dude who just like fucked up, you know?
do you
There's a
think
real
like a
Kyle
whole
in the office, you know, is what we like to say around here.
do you think like a whole team of people got fired for that?
You
Oh,
gotta
no,
shoot
it's-
them
there's
word
always
email.
no. They just revolve a scapegoat. It was fucking Ted's fault, bro. Fire Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor left last week. He just put it in there. We didn't know. He just wanted to sabotage us.
Next trailer, it's fucking Caleb. His
Yeah.
dumb ass is gone.
And it's such a minute little thing because like you don't see. I'm sure like if you're like double checking these trailers for like Disney or whatever, right? And you see that there's no Spider-Man in that shot, that's what you're looking for. You're like, all right, no Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Let me go to the next one.
Yep.
Because like, you got like 18 different trailers to watch and get through and make sure, and that's like one part of your day. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it just slips through like that.
I think everyone's like
It's just
everyone's eyes on Tom in that part as well. So you're not even looking at the lizard really, you know. So I can see how it could happen, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, these dudes, it's their job.
like.
It's their job to
Yeah,
release
the shit
this
that slips
3-minute
through these
trailer.
days.
Yeah.
The shit that slips through these days, like Game of Thrones Starbucks cups and shit, like, bro, how many multi-millions of dollars is enough for you to just get it right? Like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't see your game of Starbucks cup. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I was
Like, sorry, but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe the Brazilian, like maybe that was like a slightly older version of the trailer, and they had like all right, this is version like 18.3.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys release this one, and they like did 18.2.
Oh, you
like,
didn't get the
no!
18. Yeah, you didn't get. Dude, we sent you 20 emails. You're supposed to use the most recent email, bro. That totally makes sense too. Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole trailer department, and we've been saying this for like almost a year straight about Marvel and Disney. Their whole trailer department and their whole like getting you hyped for the movie section, their marketing team is just ass. It's been ass since Endgame, and it's not getting any. It doesn't look like it's going up anywhere soon. They need to figure that out because for every project that they have talked about and had trailers for and released, there has not been one time that we were like, hey, good trailer, great fucking show lined up. It's every single time we've had something to say. And it's just, you can't strike out every batter until you start switching up your lineup. Like you just got to do something here.
Right.
I agree.
Yes, sir.
It's like a year straight of this. It's ridiculous.
Do you want to talk about
I
Tobey?
Yeah.
Bro, if you get started on Tobey, just get out your full cutout and bring him out and let's
No,
have
I
a
mean the
face.
first movie.
Oh yeah,
first,
okay. I thought you just meant Tobey specifically.
No.
Damn it.
No, I mean the
Profess
first
your
movie.
love for him, bro. He knows.
He knows, of course he knows. No, I mean the first movie.
It's still weird seeing him try to be a teenager, like chasing after a bus, because as you get older, it looks weirder as an adult. Like when you're younger, you don't think about that, but as you get older, you're like, trying to be a teenager right now? That's kind of awkward and weird.
Don't they do
But-
this though? Like in so many like TV shows and everything. Like it's like they have 28-year-olds
yeah.
playing kids in high school and stuff. Like it's just. It's
But most of the time, they
it's
look like
ridiculous,
they
dude.
look like high schoolers. Toby just doesn't look like a high schooler.
But even look at
He looks like a-
Flash. It's your bad, like Joe
True.
Megliano or whatever. Like he looked 40 in that movie. Like you know what I mean?
But I think like I was saying earlier, I think this is the best introduction to Spider-Man because it's the most true to form and it's the least rushed. I feel like everything after this with Andrews and Tom Spider-Man, they rushed to the point of being Spider-Man with powers within the first 30 minutes of the movie, which this one still does too, but he has more of that discovery process once he becomes Spider. It just feels more paced better as far as him going not from zero to fighting the biggest villain in the world. Like he has a lot of the other movies copy the same stuff too with cage fights and stuff like that, but I just think this has everything that we wanted of it. It has the bin, it has the cage fight, it has him learning his powers, it has it all. Whereas I feel like with Tom and Andrew, they kind of have like pick and choose, whereas this one just is the complete package as far as the introduction to the character. So I like it.
Something I really noticed about this one, it kind of carries into the second one with a different theme. But what I think the director Sam Raimi really does well in this is he doesn't make a superhero movie. It's not the MCU copies later on. He made a rom-com. This is like a 2000s rom-com about a couple of teenagers who the one of them is really awkward. He likes the popular girl. There's the jock. Then there's the friend who's like kind of cool, rich, whatever.
Yep.
Like girl. Like he makes a rom-com movie, and that's
the
why
best friends, of course, with the girlfriend. Yeah.
Like it works on such a good level in terms of story because that structure is it's good. It's why rom-coms are like kind of enjoyable to watch. And then he just throws in this superhero element on top of it, where like it just kind of like fits into all these places. But he really started this whole series making a rom-com, man. Like it was hilarious.
I mean,
to
even
watch.
into the third one, that's why he gets emo in the third one. It's because it's still a fucking rom-com.
Well, I think the second one has a totally different genre. I don't want to talk about it yet, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But like he did this, it's Peter's the awkward teenager. His parents don't know how to talk to him anymore. He's rushing out of the house. Like it is.
He's in
like,
love with the girl
full
next
stop.
door. It's
It's
a
Boy Meets
2000s
World.
rom-com.
It's Boy Meets
Like,
World.
It's so good.
Yeah, this is like that's back when rom-coms were good when you'd want to watch CW shows. This is like the proper formula. I get what you're saying because now the superhero formula, the superhero movies have been so hit over the head with a bat as far as like where you have 50 that you can choose from any given day that it's like they have it so formulaic down to like here's what we're gonna do and like they're phasing out the movies now and within each movie they're like saying here's phase 1 of the movie, chapter 1 of the movie, whatever. They just have it so structured that I think you're right that when they structured this as not a superhero movie and as something else and then just threw that element on it, it hits better.
And, well, like look at the MCU when they do this really well. Like Winter Soldier isn't a superhero movie; it's a political thriller, right? Like that's like a Tom Clancy political thriller movie, just with like superhero elements laid in there. And it's why I'm excited for Doctor Strange now, really, because Sam Raimi, because it's like I want to see what he does with it, because he does like think outside the box. Although
it's being
like
labeled a horror movie too.
Right.
I love that.
But man, some of his transitions in this first one were so cheesy, bro. Like the zooms up on the faces and like the fire's going on and like fades into another cut. I'm just like, what are
I don't know.
It's-
The transitions are so much worse than Andrew's. Like so much. Andrew's transitions in that movie are like a 11-year-old did it after playing some Call of Duty or something.
Maybe so, but that doesn't make Sam Raimi's any less bad than they are.
You're not wrong.
Right.
You're not wrong.
Well, I think what happened is that Sam Raimi took a look at Ang Lee's cut of Hulk and was like, I want to try to see if I can recreate that, but make it a little bit better and less cheesy.
Yeah.
But it still hit that cheese factor pretty hard.
A can cheese, bro. Cheese in a can factor. Cheese whiz.
Cheese whiz.
Yeah.
Do you think the movies would be a bit better if it wasn't Tobey Maguire? Because like a lot of people don't like Tobey Maguire as an actor. Like,
I don't know. I think he fit. You do.
Yes.
I mean,
100%.
with that back day, with the casting we had back then, who would you say works? Because you can't cast current day.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
see,
back
I
then
wouldn't
there's
know.
so many actors.
Freddie
who were
Prinze
around, I
Jr.
don't remember.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
no.
Maybe.
going on?
I mean, they would have gone someone who actually kind of felt like more of a teenager too, would probably have been good, you know.
Yeah.
But I just think Tobey Maguire, I think he's very
Awkward.
he's awkward, and there's something watchable about him. Like he's fun to watch, right? But he just doesn't. Especially in this first one, he just comes across like very jarred and like I don't know, it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And his faces,
I can
like
see
his
that.
fucking faces, bro. Like
He's got one of those faces. It's that quote.
Yeah,
from,
it's a very
it's that quote
wide-
from Step Brothers. He goes, "I don't know what
wide
it is about your
lips.
face. I just want to change it."
Is I've always said this with Toby, his crying looks like he's smiling with tears. Like it's just
Yeah.
really tough.
Well, I love the train scene because it looks like honestly the best RP of taking a shit I've ever seen in my life.
oh, in the second one,
Yeah.
yeah, that was hilarious.
To be completely honest, if you were to try to replace Toby with anyone, I would say Jake Gyllenhaal because he's 40 right now. So about
Yeah, he
About
was
12.
the same age.
how many
back
years
then.
back was this?
This was 2000,
Like almost-
2002
yeah,
it was
one or two.
released, so it was probably
Yeah.
shot
Filmed
in
in
2000,
2001.
I'd say.
Yeah, Jake would have been young. He looks very similar to Peter, like in certain cases. And so like if you wanted to take the looks and just be like, well, he looks similar, then yes. But like I think he could have at least pulled it off as, you know, a kid, you know, almost reaching college, becoming Spider-Man. I think it would have worked out.
It could work, yeah. There's so many people, but like Toby's just like he's not bad. Like he's very watchable, bro. I just
There
he's,
is-
like he's too old for the role, man.
There's
like,
something
in
about
the
him.
first place.
There's something
And
about
like
it.
it starts off awkward because the opening scene is like someone that's clearly not a teenager chasing a bus with like double strap backpack, windbreaker, and it starts off awkward, and the awkward doesn't let up because of Toby.
The
Like
flo-
Toby
yeah.
is like a stale fart in the room that lingers, and you're like, all right, is someone going to own up to that at this point? Or
The Flood just came into the chat and just wrote, Toby is the best casting of any Marvel character in any movie ever. Possibly the best casting of any movie ever. You should all be cancelled. I love Toby, so I will stay uncancelled for this.
you are winning MTV Movie Awards Best Kiss 2003. You're just
I hate all of you, especially this one.
fuck you, Flood. How many times have you tried to recreate that kiss in your life, Flood? I need to know. How many times are you like, all right, you sit under the bed and I'm gonna lay upside down, pull down my ski mask. We're gonna do it.
How good were the movie awards when they did the skits of the films? Like, do you remember Jack Black did Spider-Man? Like,
yeah.
that shit is so fucking funny.
Yep.
Jack
So,
Black is still
so
doing
funny.
Spider-Man. It's
Every
crazy.
single
Yes.
kiss. That's how I know if it's the one or not.
You know what I really love about this movie though? Like not just to like shit all over it, because I do think it's like pretty fun to watch. Is
Yeah.
I feel like they capture Spider-Man so well in terms of like being in New York City, being like a part of New York City, and New York City being a character in the movie. Like
Yeah.
one of the things I hate about the MCU is like this doesn't take place in New York, and that's Spider-Man. Like he's a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and like he feels like he's part of the city. And they capture so well in that scene, which is just so kind of hokey, where he's like, you know, we're in New York. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Oh,
Yeah.
and while I'm sitting there, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, this is 2001. This is like the first New York movie after 9/11, right? So it's like I hit you over the head with that like New York, like we'll fight back mentality. And so Sam Raimi like really captures New York in a way that's one is gorgeous, and two has a lot of energy that just makes Spider-Man better. That I think makes it way better than the MCU's. Like I'm gonna have to see it in Andrew Garfield's movie because I don't really remember him how New York was shot, but man, I love
And
it.
I mean, I
Like,
remember you saying that, and Far From Home is like the biggest thing you missed was that friendly neighborhood Spiderhood.
Yeah,
feeling,
he's in.
or Spider-Man Spiderhood, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man feeling. And that really, like I said, I just feel like the things that the other two movies are missing, like where they hit certain parts right and then they don't hit other parts right. This movie hits everything right. It's got that friendly neighborhood feeling. It's got that intro down really good. We've got a good villain into the, it's really good. I enjoy it. The only thing that is a letdown is the awkwardness of Toby. What would you guys think if they would have swapped James Franco and had somebody else be Osborn's son?
Well, the funny thing is that James Franco actually auditioned for the role of Peter.
Before Toby, and they said no?
Yep, they said no. They said you're more of a Harry.
I think he was a good Harry, to be fair. I love James Franco,
Yeah.
so,
I don't think he was
He's-
a bad Harry, but I still think someone could have been a better Toby. You know?
Even back then, they're like, you feel a little me toozy for us right now, so we're gonna make you hairy.
Oh my god.
You can't be
I can't.
Peter, man.
It's crazy how much Willem Dafoe like gives off that energy in the movie as well.
Oh my
It's like,
god, I forgot that he looked that young. Like, it shook me how young he looks. Like,
Yeah.
woo.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dafoe's a young boy in this movie.
he needs some
I-
meat on him though.
I can't wait for you to watch Spider-Man 3 next week. Like, oh my god. I only watched
Dude,
it like 2
I'm
weeks ago,
gonna
but
cry laughing.
I'm watching it again. Like, even like Franco's just so good in it. He's like so cheesy and all that. Like, you'll notice there's so many moments from that movie that are now memes on the internet. Like, you're just gonna be dying laughing throughout the whole thing. It's fucking great. It's now certified comedy. Fact. It's so good.
All right, I don't know about you guys, but I would have to say though, like the best Aunt May and Uncle Ben that I've ever seen on screen, like hands down. Like I have not seen. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fantastic.
Raimi. I don't know, dude. Aunt May and Tom's movies.
She's a very
she's
she's
not Aunt
young
May.
and she's like
no.
Listen, I
like
ain't
Aunt.
saying she's a proper Aunt May. I'm just saying she's nice to look at on screen.
Andrew's yeah, but that's not what Aunt May's ever been about. Like, you know, it's just strange. I think
I know. It
I
just
actually
makes
like
up for
Andrew's.
some other things.
Andrew's Aunt May's good.
Yeah.
I think Tobey.
I can agree
sorry,
with that.
I think Tom Holland's like Peter is like the first kind of Peter that we got that like is the right age to be Peter. You know, like I think Andrew's Peter was just like a skateboarder and he had cool hair and all, and I think a lot of people just thought he was kind of too cool to be Peter Parker. And then obviously Tobey's 50, so it's like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. With
You know?
like when we watched Far From Home, Tom. That's why when we had first watched Far From Home, I thought it was better than the Tobey introduction, because the one thing that they do hit better in that movie that they don't in this one is just that feeling of a young boy like getting fucking powers in a huge world and like, what am I like? This is a whole lot of confusion. What do I do? Whereas Tobey kind of just fumbles his way through it more, and it seems like a whole lot more of a struggle for Andrew. Like a whole lot more of a like figure this the fuck out. Where Toby's on the roof playing around and stuff. Tom,
It really did seem though that like Sam Raimi and the writers of the first Spider-Man actually did their homework in terms of like reading the comics. Like with them, I recently read Amazing Fantasy with the introduction of Spider-Man. Like they got the Uncle Ben and Aunt May thing down. They got his like wanting to kind of be more popular among the people like down, but it's in a different way, because if you were to like go from the comic standpoint, it'd be way too cheesy. Like he basically tries to make himself look like he's a celebrity in the comics, whereas in this one he actually is struggling to, you know, try to impress the person that he's trying to impress, which is why I agree with Hoffman that it's a rom-com, and it just works so well. And they still have the wrestling scene in the comics, which is very iconic, and I love that. And it plays out very similar, except for, you know, the whole money thing. You know, I forgot the point where that's my problem. They still make it in a way like they worked it well enough so that it's a good origin, and it sits well on paper and on the screen, and I love it.
Yeah,
I keep getting flashbacks this whole conversation of Bonesaw, and it makes me chuckle.
Oh, he's so
that was perfect.
So I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make a big.
It's so good.
I'm gonna take it to me when I see the new movie.
Just bring a Bonesaw with you. Yeah.
Bring back Bonesaw.
Yeah.
Another like huge scene in this movie that I think doesn't get brought up enough, because everyone's always quoting like, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, and that's where like Spider-Man gets his like draw of like his motivation.
I think it's the most iconic quote, honestly.
Well, yeah, but I think the scene before that led up to him dying, I think that's what the MCU one is definitely missing. I have to go back to see Andrew Garfield's to see it. But like where he doesn't do the right thing, and because he doesn't step up and do something, like a horrible tragedy happens. And like I think that is such a good scene that we are missing in like so many superhero movies to begin with, but then definitely Spider-Man, it's where he gets his like sense of like, I have to do this. Like,
but not even that.
I have to do it because like it is, you know, he had the director's all like his uncle died because of it, but that can happen to anybody, and they carry that theme over into the second one, right? But like it's just so good, man, and like it shows like the failures of him as a character, but then they show why he doesn't do it again. Like I love it, man. Like,
But it's even like a
so
layer
good.
deeper than what you're saying, because the crazy thing about it is when they show you that moment of him not doing the right thing, you're almost cheering him on for being a dickhead. You're like, yeah, doesn't look like it is his problem, asshole. So you go from this really high to where you're like happy that he didn't do the right thing to it causing that result, and then you're like, oh shit. So it hits you harder too, because we were like, man, we were just cheering him on for being a douchebag, and now look at us. Now his uncle's dead. Now we're assholes too. So like it almost puts the responsibility on the viewer a little bit, so it hits so much harder.
Yep.
Gotta say, you guys were making fun of his crying face a few minutes ago, but genuinely, when I see Tobey crying, it actually upsets me so much. It upsets me so much. I think it's good.
I think when you look in the mirror, you see Tobey sometimes. That's all I know.
Nothing wrong with that.
See, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe I do.
I mean, if you're seeing Tobey when you look in the mirror, there's definitely something wrong with that photo.
That's what I was thinking, bro. Dude, you're way too chill at the fact that Tobey's in your mirror, bro.
He's just whispering secrets to me.
Because he's the greatest actor of a generation. I fucking hate the flood.
They don't get all the movies in Canada. Don't mind him.
They don't get all. Canada only gets a third of the movies. They're still getting freaking 10 Things I Hate About You. They're still getting the early 2000s.
I know.
Classic. So what would you rate the first movie? I suppose
8 at least.
Like for
8 out
me,
of 10.
growing up, it was like one of the best movies I'd ever seen, and I just think even now it's still so special to me. I love it so much. But like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I still think it's top 3 out of all the Spider-Man movies ever. But I think it's not great, obviously, compared to what we've seen now. You know, like the bar's too high. Yeah. But it's still a fantastic film.
I mean, it still holds up over all this time too, which I think adds credit to it. Like, you watch other movies from that period, and you're not gonna enjoy them nearly as much. I don't think.
It's hard to like for me to rank movies that came out in the late '90s and the 2000s because it's at like the cusp of CGI, and I think that like really pulls you out of the movie so much. And it's why movies from like the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, those movies all hold up because they don't have anything that dates them besides like the lenses, right, and the quality of the film. But like you put all that cheesy CGI in there, and it like really just like ruins the movie for you. So it's hard for me to rate this because like 100%. I think like the script's really good. But I think the acting is pretty terrible in this one. William Dafoe, like even as good as he is, came off like really kind of corny.
And
bad. And so I was gonna give it like a solid 7.5, 7, and then the movie ended and Nickelback came on. And I was like, this is a fucking 5, bro. Like I forgot they made
I thought you were about to upgrade to 8 when you said Nickelback. You went down.
Yeah, that's just fucking rude.
Look,
like,
I'm gonna set things straight. It's not Nickelback. It's just Chad Kroeger. It's not actually Nickelback.
Nickelback is an American treasure. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Even the rest of his fucking band was like, we're not doing this shit, bro.
Dude, I definitely agree.
Right, Kyle?
Have you guys seen the uproar? Oh, are they? No.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the uproar about everybody about Pip since Eternals came out? Like everybody's like, who the fuck did you guys pay to CGI Pip? The guy that came out with Heroes? Yeah. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
They actually fucked themselves because they made Thanos so good and lifelike. Any CGI they do that doesn't live up to Thanos, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the first Thanos was ass. They just should have stuck with the first Thanos. The purple bitch.
I would love to see the flood just asked there. Would you be into if they kind of remastered the first movie, like re-up the CGI? I think that'd be so cool. I think they should do that more. Like obviously, you know, like Lucas is always kind of touching up Star Wars and stuff like that. Like I don't know why they're not doing this.
So I don't know where you guys were watching Spider-Man. I don't know if you own the DVD, but I was watching it on Prime Video and they have trivia. And for the movies, part of the trivia said that the people, like some of the people that were watching the movie actually believed that it was Tobey because they thought that the CGI was done so well that they believed that he was actually there.
In 2002?
Yes. Yeah. Which to me is one of those things, like as you get through the generations, it's going to get better. But then you look back and it's going to look worse. But during that time frame, I could totally believe that, you know, people thought that.
No. No,
I
Because
could
during
totally
the
believe
time
that.
frame,
I
it
hope
was
those people
cutting
are
edge
dead.
at the time.
They don't belong in society. Like they are so fucking dumb. Like those are the
But
people that were
they-
answering the Prince.
Hey, I
Like
just
the
want everyone to
Prince
know that it's the
emails
top
back in
panel
90.
here. It's the top panel of this cast that's talking about bouncing heads off the ground and hoping death upon people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Alex are peace and loving people, Alex. The
Now,
bottom
see,
row's
look,
chill.
I love seeing tragedy in films for the development of characters. I think it's just put such a fantastic spin on things. I want to see Tom Holland get crushed in this movie.
Game of Thrones did that shit. I
Yes.
think Game of Thrones opened that Pandora's
Yes.
box of like
Yes.
nobody's ever fucking safe again.
Yes.
And we are gonna kill people that matter to you and suck it, nerd.
Like every single person after watching the Red Wedding was just like, wow, that was like some of the best things shit I've ever seen in my life. And like you saw a woman get her like pregnant stomach slashed to pieces, like it was some of the darkest shit I've ever seen on TV. Like, and afterwards you're just like, that was the greatest thing ever.
I would also say the Walking Dead scene that set off a lot of brutal shit going forward too. If you guys remember when Glenn got the bat to the head, and that was on cable television too.
I mean, Negan just had good technique. He's twisting those hips, man. You know, he's like,
Negan
He's
just
hitting
had
homers.
great form. You see how he choked up on the bat? He
Yeah.
had some pine tar on there. Get his grip.
yeah. But like, I don't know. Like, if they kill off Tobey, right, in the new one, like if he's in it and they kill him off, like, what's it for? Is my
The Uncle
thing.
Ben moment.
To
The
see his
Uncle Ben
goofy
moment.
face
Make him-
It's
crying
the
make
before he
him
dies.
it's
Uncle
the Uncle
Ben.
Ben moment. I think he
Okay.
is the. I think Tobey Maguire is the 616 Uncle Ben. And
He'll show
when
up
Tom
and-
sees him,
'cause-
he's like, "Uncle Ben, is that you?" And he'd be like, "What? I'm
Oh, yeah,
Peter
'cause there's
Parker."
gonna-
And it's just
There's gonna be
poetry
three
in motion.
Spider-Man. There's going to be 3 Spider-Mans in the movie, and obviously you can't have 3 chiefs, so you need 1 chief and 2 Indians. Obviously, the OG Spider-Man's going to be like, all right, let me take you under my web, young lads. I'm going to show you how this spider shit works. And then he's going to... So that's why I think he's going to die. Andrew's going to save MJ for Tom. It's like a waterfall effect. He's the big papa. He's the sacrifice. Andrew is like not necessarily a sacrifice, but he's the one doing the saving for Tom, and then Tom is the one like at the like, oh, thank you, my 2 Spider-Men.
All right. I
Tom's
just hope it's for
Tom's
something. I hope
Tom's
it's a good moment.
Tom's got to lose some people though. Has to happen. Like maybe he
You-
saves.
so when-
Maybe
I
they
don't
save.
think
Maybe
it's
they save
Ned.
MJ, but I think he loses Happy
Maybe they
or
lose his
May
May.
or both.
Yeah.
He's got to lose somebody.
Maybe he loses his May. Well, like he lose. I don't know.
May
Because
lose
Toby
her?
would be enough. Toby. It doesn't make sense to lose Toby and Happy though. Like those are both going to be kind of older fatherly figures, and he's already lost Tony Stark. So it would almost not make sense to lose all these dudes. It would make sense for him to lose like his version of MJ maybe or Aunt May at this point because I don't know.
They
I just
can't
feel like
kill
that's balance in it.
I really think if they kill MJ and then he gets to actually meet Mary Jane Watson, I just think that's perfect. Like,
I don't
Yeah.
think they would sideline that actress though.
she's
think
got.
Not
her
right now.
I think
Not-
she might have.
because they're a couple in real life.
She
If you
might
guys
have
don't
some shit to
remember,
do in Dune 2 though. Like I think she actually has to act. So
They try to
She's
tell
gotta be
Toby
right.
and Kirsten.
Don't gotta
They
take
try
a
to
shot
tell.
over the bow over there. Jesus.
They try to tell Toby and Kirsten not to announce their breakup before the release of Spider-Man 3 because they didn't want to affect sales. So like
Right.
when they have like a working couple in a movie that they're already love interest in, they eat that shit up.
Wait,
for
they were actually
sales.
dating?
I'm not going to the
Yeah,
movie.
the
I'm not going to the movie
director-
because they're
It was literally
dating.
a story where the director had like talked to him, been like, "Hey, can you guys not talk about your breakup because it's about to come out and affect sales?" So
Professional.
Mhm.
Man, I didn't know he dated her. Kirsten Dunst, she's like the fucking poster
Dude.
on my wall girl, you know?
Flood's got one thing right. You don't upside down kiss somebody and let them just walk away from it. Man. Pretty powerful technique.
What'd you guys
Sure.
think about Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man 2.
Better villain to me. Obviously, Doc Ock is so fucking iconic.
I think Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie ever made.
I agree.
Much better structure.
It's the best movie. Like, and I remember that time in my life so well. Like the Spider-Man 2 game on PlayStation 2 was out, and I played that game religiously, back to front.
Dude, the web slinging in that game was so fucking
It was
good.
so
dude.
good. Like everything about the game was just perfect with
You have
the
it on
movie.
GameCube?
I played it on PlayStation 2.
Oh, I had it on GameCube, bro.
Oh man, what a game! And like, just Melina is perfect. I loved like I loved the kind of back and forth with Harry and Toby, and just how they were always button heads, and like he just didn't even give him the chance to kind of
That
explain
yeah, that
himself.
fall
and-
from grace is done so well. That like fallout is depicted really well. in
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2.
It's so good. Like it's I just love everything about that film. Like it's just fantastic.
I just felt like Harry was J. Jonah Jameson, but with money during that whole movie.
I think this is one of those rare times where they did something in the first one. They're like, all right, we've got something here. So everybody was more comfortable doing it in the second one. So when they did it in the second one, they more felt like, all right, we belong here. And like we said, the first one had a lot of that awkwardness, whereas the second one doesn't have that. Everybody feels like they belong. Everybody's like, hey, we've proven ourselves in these roles, and they just kill it,
It feels like Sam Raimi had a lot more control over this movie because you can see a lot more of his footprints, like because he had such a successful first one. Sony let him do a lot more of what he wanted to do. And I swear, as much as the first one is a rom-com, I didn't realize this until I rewatched it for the second time. That's a straight fucking horror film. That is a Hitchcock horror film written all over, like from top to bottom. Yes, the second.
Yeah.
It's a Hitchcock film, man, in a way that I didn't even think about until I'm watching now. And like the way they would like zoom up real fast on a woman's face screaming, the use of shadows, the use of Doc Ock kind of like being like this Jaws character where you wouldn't see him, it would just be like boom, 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 and everything's built like it is such a horror movie that is like it blew me away. The scene where they're trying to take his tentacles off the back of him. Oh my god, that's like one of the best shot scenes I've ever watched in a film. It's
Well,
the best
and
horror
the
scene.
CGI hits
definitely
so much better
fantastic.
in this too. I remember seeing the CGI in this when it originally came out, and that last scene where he's taking down the warehouse, and I just remember being like, "This is fucking gnarly."
dude.
Like,
Yeah.
it's good.
Well, the arms
So-
the arms existed for the filming of that film. Like there's it was real because one of the things that Alfred Molina said when he came back, he's like, I can't do this shit anymore. Like, I'm an old man now. And they're like,
hurt
oh,
him,
don't worry, it's all CGI now. But like back then, it looked so good because a lot of it was real.
Mhm.
It was probably
Yeah,
so
that-
jerky, like a roller
Yeah.
coaster. Just
Well, that's the thing, is that they had people holding each arm, but they also learned Alfred Molina's movements and like quirks and whatnot, so that they could get the proper and fluid, movement. And it works so well. Like you see it so well in every scene that you see with those arms moving.
Yep.
It looks fantastic.
It does. And the way they integrated with him, where they did some really sweet practical effects where he would be walking and then his legs would be lifted up and he'd be walking by like his tentacles, but then he would like get back down and be walking again. It was so fluid.
Yeah.
And that's just like fantastic movie making on
Yeah.
a very like practical effects, and like you could feel it in his DNA that it
They
felt
were
real,
actual
felt
limbs.
tangible.
They were limbs for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
fantastic.
I don't know if that's going to carry over to like a full digital CGI stuff that he's doing now in the
Yeah.
MCU, but like it worked, man. Like this movie is, I could go back and rewatch it again tonight. Like I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
It's the best Spider-Man movie we've gotten so far.
I can't wait to hate watch Spider-Man 3.
Oh no, guys, seriously, it's going to be one of the best movies you've seen all year. Fact.
Well, one of the things I wanted to point out was, you guys remember the trilogy for Thor, right?
Mm-hmm.
This whole situation reminds me of the trilogy of Thor, like where the first movie had a certain like feeling to it. The second movie was very dark and brooding, and then the third movie is just going to be a fun laughter fest in a sense. And it, as I look forward into that with Thor and like the comparison with that and Spider-Man, I'm like,
I see
holy
that.
crap, they took
I see
the
that
formula
comparison.
in a similar fashion.
Yeah.
So,
It's Thor 2, he loses his eye. No, is that 3 that he fights?
That's 3.
Oh, okay.
I think
I think it's
But it-
because I think it's the same trajectory, but they have more movies to work with Thor, but they're doing the same kind of trajectory, the build up, fall away from people, he loses like injury and shit, and like
Mhm.
but they've got 4 Thors to work with.
Now they do, which
Yeah.
means
And they had also side projects to work with too to fit in stuff. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I see that.
Yeah. Which means that if Finto's right, we are getting a 4th Spider-Man.
hell
If
yeah.
they
Bruce Campbell,
If they-
main
dude,
villain.
you know-
Let's
you know-
fucking do it.
You know how fast Andrew is going to the hardware store and buying a stool and a length of rope if Tobey gets a 4th movie before he gets his 3rd? Bro.
I think Toby did, like, because for
This got incredibly fucking dark. What the
for
hell?
Andrew's favorite Spider-Man is Toby.
That's
right?
what he's doing, bro. Have you seen? Oh, you didn't. I didn't send you the same meme. I sent the meme to them where it's Toby and Tom and says, "Hey, have you heard of trilogy?" He goes, "What? I don't get it." He goes, "Yeah, that's the point exactly." And it's Andrew going,
Yeah, I don't know. I genuinely think they're both going to get another movie out of all this. I think the Spider-Verse explodes, and then we get a live-action Miles
Just web everywhere.
everywhere.
I hope
All over
live
the
action
place.
Fucking
Miles
mess,
is the
bro.
next
It's everywhere.
Spider-Man. Do you think that maybe that they would introduce him post-credit scene in this, or do you
Yeah.
think we're waiting for that?
Yeah, I think he could be in this movie. Live-action Miles.
Do you think?
Don't you think we would have seen casting on him?
No, because I think this is the one secret that they're actually able to keep.
They did keep Harry Styles a secret?
Yeah.
That's
Do you
true.
think that they would Sony would let Marvel have Miles, or do you think they would want to pull Miles into like their universe and have full control?
I think Miles will live in Sony, but I think he's gonna be like introed here with the rest of them. Yeah.
Dang,
And
Flo
Miles,
thinks Holland
Miles,
dies.
Miles has been like hinted in the MCU already. He does exist.
Didn't you
Right,
say Tom?
yeah.
Didn't you say Holland was going to do more Sony projects?
Yeah,
after this?
that's the plan apparently.
Yeah, so I don't think Holland will be able to die here, but that'd be crazy if they took him out. I think they've got too much money and like they've in their mind made too much money with Tom Holland to let him go yet. They've got to get more money out of him.
Look at the way he started to talk now. That shyster, bro. Like he was just in an interview
That's
talking
shyster.
about how, remember like 2-3 years ago he was like, "Oh, I want to do another Spider-Man. I could play Spider-Man forever. I just want to play Spider-Man." Blah, blah, blah. And now he's in an interview saying like if he's playing Spider-Man when he's 30, he's made a mistake. And he's only like, "I don't think I can play Spider-Man forever."
Did he
So,
not?
like,
Did
maybe
he not say if he's not playing Spider-Man when he's 30, he made a mistake? I thought it was.
No, he's saying if he's no,
he's still-
He is.
Oh wow, that's
I
crazy.
didn't see
doesn't
that
want to be doing
interview.
this.
How
I
recent
thought
was that?
I thought he said if he wasn't still playing
Is that on this
Spider-Man.
media run for this movie
Yeah,
that he said that?
Yeah.
Dang.
yeah.
No, it was he doesn't want to be playing Spider-Man his whole life.
Wow.
Which, Daddy Maguire got to him, baby. They were hanging out on set having a couple conversations.
Wow.
I
Hey,
mean,
man.
they make sense. Like you look at people like Hugh Jackman and stuff like that. People that get almost that trapped in these roles, and it's like, listen, I want to do different. I want to have like a full discography. If that it's not music, but a full discography by the end of my career instead of I did this one project. Like I'm pretty sure RDJ, is he planning on doing more movies or is he just done with filming together? Like, isn't that why he wanted to leave?
He's already done other movies since he's left.
He's doing another Sherlock movie soon.
Oh, I know he done like one or two, but I didn't know if he is like full on into just committing to other things or if he's just slowing down altogether.
Yeah, no, I think he's
No,
doing a
he's still doing
Sherlock.
Yeah.
Doing Sherlock and stuff.
I think people in these superhero movies, they see that Marvel is ready. They completed a 20-year chapter and said, hey, we're going to keep going. So like when you're getting into the MCU now, you gotta have to look like, do I want to do this the next 20 years maybe? Like you got to start asking yourself these questions because there's a potential that that's what you're doing.
My understanding of the deal was that Tom was lent or like created at Marvel and given like a trilogy, and then they were getting the character back, but their deal was that it would be Tom Holland going to Sony, doing a couple of movies there, and then like returning for the next big Avengers movie where he would take the mantle of Tony Stark, sort of like, like that role, like that character role, the leader, like, so I don't know, like I don't think he dies. I think they have a bit of work left for him, but I think he definitely going forward will not be like the kind of prime Spider-Man or the main Spider-Man. I think they're going to do a few bits. I truly think that Tobey will get a movie. I truly think that Andrew will get a movie. Or maybe Andrew is introduced as the Spider-Man of the Venomverse, and then that allows him to be Spider-Man there. And I think Tom will be kind of in a couple of movies in nearly like just almost cameo appearances. And then maybe when they introduce Miles, Tom comes back, becomes the mentor of Miles, and then Miles takes over. And then we have a Miles Spidey as the Prime in the MCU.
See, I could
take
see a
Garfield.
world where Sony doesn't give anyone a new movie, and then they just bring Miles in as their Spider-Man, and they're like, "This is our Spider-Man." Like we do Miles Morales. Like we're completely different from the MCU, and our draw is being different than the MCU because we got Miles Morales. We
I
got
would love that.
We got the young, cool Miles Spider-Man, not that old.
Well, here's the thing:
dumb-looking
they
red
already
and blue
showed
one.
Tom's. They showed Tom's freaking Spider-Man on the post-credit scene for Venom, so they've already almost locked themselves into somehow working the fact that Tom
Yeah.
Holland is a Spider-Man to Venom in some way.
Well, in that
So-
multiverse, because Venom goes over to the MCU verse, right?
I really want more than anything what you said, Hoffman, to come true, for them to be like, yeah, so by the way, we actually didn't approve of Sony doing that in Venom.
Yeah.
It would
That's
be
so
the
bad,
best.
dude.
Yeah.
It would be so good.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you also think about it, though, like Miles is already in his own movie with Into the Spider-Verse, so they have to finish Into the Spider-Verse too. So, how much time do you think it'll be before we actually get to see a live action? Then, like, do you think it's that soon?
4 weeks,
Yes.
I think, in and around.
I don't think they would take Into the Spider-Verse into consideration for live action Miles at all.
Well,
I
they
think they
took it
just
into
treat it
consideration for all the other movies, though, especially
How
for
so?
the Tobey movies. If you remember in Spider-Verse, they were talking about Peter Parker saying that he went through his life, and they even showed like him dancing in front of the
Tobey-
clothing store.
That was meant to be Toby. Peter B.
Right.
Peter B. Parker was meant to be Tobey Maguire, and he wouldn't do the voice, so they got someone else to do the voice. But it's officially him. Like it shows the scenes from the Raimiverse. Like that is him.
Well,
Right.
I would say, like, I don't think they would hesitate to put a live action Miles Morales. I don't think they would hesitate on doing that based on Into the Spider-Verse. I think they would just go for it and not care really about Spider-Verse's release schedule. I just feel that way.
I think I think the Spider-Verse is a separate thing. That Spider-Verse, like animated,
And
is
it's
a
only going to
separate
stay
universe.
animated
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
that's its
I
own.
think
That's
it's
its
got
own
too much moving parts to ever do anything live action with Spider-Verse. Would just be like Endgame Infinity War level movie. Like you have to have so much. You have to have multiple CGI, full background CGIs because they all have different powers too, and just there's so much involved that I think it stays best animated too. It just
Absolutely.
gives you that freedom that we saw in like What If, where they were doing crazy anime type fights.
That
That's
an-
what we want anyway.
That animated movie is probably the second best Spider-Man movie ever made, behind Spider-Man 2.
Which one?
It's incredible.
Ooh,
The Miles
Very
movie.
Spider-Man.
I don't.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I
It's
love this.
strong.
Oh yeah,
I
the
love
Miles movie.
Spider-Verse.
Dude, the soundtrack.
You think Spider-Verse is the best, Alex?
Spider-Verse is absolutely the best.
Wow.
That
Didn't
is-
Didn't it get like
that is-
movie of the
so-
year or something? Did it?
I can't remember. I know
I thought
animated
it won
films.
something.
Well, animated films have such a hard time competing with Pixar and anything, DreamWorks and whatnot. But as far as movies, like that is by far the best movie, the best Spider-Man movie, the only Spider-Man movie that involved so many different Spider people and it worked so well. And so if we're seeing this live action and we see that the live action works well, then I will eat my words. But as far as I'm concerned, best movie that portrayed all the Spider-Man that you remember, even some new ones that you might not even have heard of, that they introduced. They even gave them their origin. Like they put everything that they could in there. They even made everything comic based. They gave the sounds. It was so fantastic.
Here's
The
my
movie's
deal, though.
fantastic. The movie's unbelievable.
And I think it's a great movie. I'm not trying to take away from it. But like what they did in Spider-Man 2 is they had to build every character and actually build that character inside of their movie to get you to care about them and believe them as a character. Versus the Spider-Verse, where it's just like, oh, here's Pig Spider-Man. Oh, here's Gwen what's her name? With the
Spider-Gwen.
white suit.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Gwen. And she's just there and like she just exists and has all this and you're supposed to just go with it. Like versus I think they're both equally as good as scripts. And I think the multiverse where you just cut in stuff from other universe is just I think it's cheap. I think it's good. I think it's fun. But I also think it's cheap. It's just a cheap trick where it's like we don't have to explain that much away about this character because we can just say, hey, it all makes sense in their universe and that's why they're the way they are because they're there. Versus Spider-Man 2 where everything had to like kind of make sense and flow together and they built this like wonderful story of like how Doc Ock turned crazy, how Spider-Man idolized him and they got turned away, how he had to deal with his relationship with Aunt May and like coming clean about why Uncle Ben is dead. Like there's such good drama there between there. That's like really, almost like a lot more adult stuff, which now I'm an adult, I appreciate it even more than I did when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Well, I could totally agree with that. But at the same time, we see that same kind of villain upbringing in Spider-Verse. When you see that Wilson Fisk, he actually had a family. He was trying to protect them and keep them safe, and also prevent them from knowing who he was. And because of that, they ended up getting hurt, and they ended up dying.
Bro.
And so his crusade is to destroy, like, to get into the multiverse of things, to pull in another family.
Yeah.
Yes,
it definitely works. The
That-
script definitely works. You're right.
That is, it's chilling when, you know, when Spider-Man says to him, "I know what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work." And then he like fist kills him, like, and you're just like, whoa, like you're like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe they did that in an animated movie. Like, it was amazing. Like,
But now that you mention that, Hoffman, I realize the same situation happened to Doc Ock. Like, Doc Ock wanted to complete his work because he felt like it was to be his greatest work, and also an homage to his wife who he lost. So it's in both kind of situations where I can see how both plots work so well together. Like, yeah, I can totally see how they were both, like, they can both be on par from what you've told me now. I can agree.
Okay. But, like, you know, the animated one doesn't have Uncle Joey in it. Hey, if you want to get to him, you gotta go through me. It's so good. It's so good.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I don't know, like,
Would you guys rate it? Spider-Man 2, would you, based off your last ones of Spider-Man 1, because so Finto said he didn't like the first one, it was a solid 2 out of 10 movie for him. What do you think Spider-Man 2 is?
9 out of 10, bro.
9 out of 10.
Hell yeah, dude.
I
9 out of
say
10.
I keep the same 8 out of 10. I just, to me, they're almost a one movie deal. Not only because I watch them back to back, but because when I constantly think of the original Spider-Man, I always think it's the Doc Ock one. Yeah. And I always kind of just put the whole stories together, and I just think they didn't suffer from sequelitis until episode 3. And it just, I don't know, those two are really good.
I give it a good 9. I don't really have anything too wrong about that movie that I didn't like. The only thing that I didn't like truly didn't like out of the Spider-Man 2 movie was the fact that Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, the Spider-Man character, I feel like he constantly wants to reveal his identity to everyone because he's pulling his mask off every 5 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Tobey wanted to get those paychecks, baby. He's like, it's me.
Yeah, it's me, baby. I'll do all this shit.
It's my face.
I'm right there with you guys. This is an 8.5, 9 out of 10 movie, man. Like, I think some of the CGI kind of looks dated, and like you kind of catch it sometimes, especially the car flip scene when they stand up and like the diner's destroyed behind them. I'm like, that looks like a YouTube video, bro. Like, you can tell so hard. But still, it was great. I love this movie, man. Like, I'm right there with Kyle. Like, when I was watching the first one, I was like, man, this is a lot worse than I remembered it. And then it's like, it's my brain puts the second one back with the first one for me, where it's like, I love those movies. I think both of them are that quality of the second one. So it's so good, bro. Like, I love it, man.
And like, none of the other Spider-Mans had a good 1 and 2. They all had a good 1 or a good 2.
Yeah,
I think
they certainly did. They certainly didn't go back to formula.
Yeah,
back to formula. Oh, it's so good, bro. I fucking love it, man. And like, the cheese for me is just so good. Like, and like, superhero movies were a bit different back then, you know, like, so I can see why they did a lot of the cheesy stuff. Like I'm very curious to see how Sam Raimi makes a superhero movie now with Doctor Strange 2, you know. You won't see any of that cheesy shit. Like, I'd be surprised if you saw any of it, like, you know. So that's why I'm very interested in him doing something again with Tobey, you know, and that's why I think Tobey's going to be in Doctor Strange 2. I think Tobey survives this movie to be in that movie, to be back with Sam Raimi, and then maybe he dies there, or maybe they do get Spider-Man 4.
I think the reason these older superhero movies hit better, like early Iron Man, these Spider-Man movies, is just because once the industry saw the money to be made in this, it became like a series of, we got to outdo what we did last time. We got to up ourselves last time. So they're always trying to outdo themselves. Where back then they were just trying to make good movies, like Hoffman said. They weren't trying to make a good superhero movie to make money. They were trying to make a good rom-com movie with superhero elements. So I think that was a big key to the success to the stuff back then. But once they saw the money in it, and they're like, all right, well, we have another 15 years of movies ahead of us. Let's start topping ourselves up one by one, and we're gonna save this good stuff for the last. And it just became too. They tried to calculate it too much and schedule it too much instead of just making good movies with some of the later stuff towards the end. Whereas these super early hero movies are like, they're just unique. And you see that when you rewatch them too. You're just like, this is different from what we're getting currently.
Can I tell you a gripe? Or can I chime in with a gripe about the newest Spider-Man coming out and something I'm really starting to hate about all the Spider-Verse people?
Yeah.
Okay, the biggest gripe, am I wrong, or the biggest complaint most people have about Tom Holland's Spider-Man is that like he just uses Stark Tech to win the day and he's not really doing it on his own. Am I fair to say that? Like that's
very fair.
Like, one of the biggest complaints we
hear.
have.
The Iron Spider suit's been pretty heavily relied on a lot so far.
Well, now that's Doc Ock suit, so let's see what happens there.
Well, then why are all the fanboys getting super excited that all the other Spider-Men are coming in to rescue the day for Tom Holland? He's once again not doing it on his own. He's again not relying on his own grit and metal to get this done. It's the other Spider-Men who are gonna help.
This is
just a young lad.
This is why he needs tragedy. Somebody big needs to die because Tom Holland's character needs to grow up. That's what has to happen. He needs to fuck. He does. He needs to grow up. Woo! That's what has to happen, bro. That's what will happen. Someone big is gonna die, and I think it could really be Aunt May, and then he's left on his own. He has no one to take care of him. He's got to move into the city. He's got to get an apartment by himself, and then I
hope all the other Spider-Men die, so he has to do that. Like, I want someone who can't help him save the day.
Yeah, they're all just gonna fuck off, though. I presume, Like, I think someone from his universe needs to die.
Okay, let's just kill them all. Let's just kill them all, then bring Miles out.
Yeah, could you imagine the Sinister Six just like absolutely squashed all three of them? Just went, wow, why didn't we start working together earlier? Like that was so
it's like a
easy.
Suicide Squad movie, and they just start getting like killed in super gory ways, and we're like, wait, this is not turning out how we thought it was.
Yeah. They all die, and then just Captain Marvel shows up.
Yeah, imagine.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Sorry, guys, I was busy in another world there, but here I am now. Just like clicks her fingers.
It's a big multiverse, but I found my way to you.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, like helping out other universes, is like the girlfriend in Canada. Like, really, Captain Marvel? Is there another planet to save?
Really?
You just see Sam
does this
give
other
a fly
planet
by.
have a name, Captain Marvel? What is it? Yeah, I swear it does.
If she shows up in this film, I'm gonna be pissed.
Why?
I just don't want her anywhere near this movie, man.
She's such a good character. Come on, bro.
No.
She's so excited.
Don't wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
She's the fucking worst. Like, seriously.
Wait, all right, hold up. Marry, fuck, kill, Falcon, Captain Marvel. Who else does he hate? Falcon, Captain Marvel. Who else is on Finto's shit list? This is going to be a good... MJ.
Old slam.
Marry, fuck, kill, Falcon, MJ, Captain Marvel. Go.
Oh, God. I'm gonna marry Falcon. I'm gonna marry Falcon.
You're gonna marry Falcon?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, dude.
That's the one you hate the most.
Well, I'm not fucking him.
Bro,
why didn't you kill him, then, dude?
I know.
Because I have to kill Marvel. I hate her so much. She has to be scrubbed, bro.
I'm shook, bro.
Oh,
Stop.
God.
I love that whoever came up with this game like lived in a world where they like didn't have sex with the person they married. Like,
Pinto, are you a bottom then? Chaos Sharky wants to know.
For financial reasons.
No, I'm not. I cannot talk about this live, right? Stop. We're all getting cancelled. We're all getting cancelled.
You'll tell us in private.
We're all getting cancelled
if
for
you're
this.
a bottom with Falcon or not.
Oh my God.
Well, because then he'll get the shield. He can borrow the shield anytime.
That's true. I co-own the shield.
What's
mine is yours, Falcon. What's mine is yours. I'm taking half that shield.
Don't worry, I'll tell you what he tells me in private, Sharky. I got you.
For fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
Kyle just walks off. He like fucking.
He's had enough. He keels over.
X-rated.
Fucking mic drop. Just fucking out of here. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Yeah, like, what do you think? Do you think like the character of Doc Ock changes in the new movie when he like merges with the Stark Tech?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
His-
I don't. Go ahead.
First, like his thing, he can absorb like tech powers from other stuff with his, like his tentacles. Like they kind of like understand technology, right?
Yeah, they kind of
they're
have a
like-
mind of their
they're
own.
sentient. Yeah,
But they didn't do that in Spider-Man 2. Like they didn't really establish that it could do that in that movie.
they were
I
sentient in
don't
the fact that like they would look at him and stuff and be like, shake their head and nod. Like they understood,
Yeah,
but they didn't. They didn't really talk about the fact like of them adapting to new technology.
Yeah.
I think what they're getting at in this is that, you know, the Stark Tech is gonna like rewrite the code, like, you know, so maybe
Yeah.
just change how it all works with him, and then
Okay.
imagine you
I
got
think
Jarvis.
he's gonna be the same character.
Imagine you got
I don't think he's
Jarvis.
gonna actually. Oh my god, dude!
Imagine Jarvis.
That Jarvis is controlling the arms.
Yeah. That'd be actually
But like,
pretty cool.
I don't think he changes. I think he's still that. I think we just get that original caring, like the Doc Ock from the beginning of Spider-Man 2, the mentor. So everyone was saying Reptar in chat. Shut up. The mentor Doc Ock. Stop. Mentor Doc Ock comes back, the one that's like that fatherly figure that was to Tobey, because that was a big, like, I still feel that when I watch that second one, where it's like, man, this dude's taking loss after loss. Best friend, this guy was like someone he looked up to, and now it's like someone that he admired his intelligence, and now he has to outsmart him and fight him and stuff. Like, to get that smart ally back would be
I really
yeah. Sorry,
no,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead, please.
I'm sitting here.
I was just gonna say I can't wait to see the chemistry between Tom Holland and Doc Ock, because Tom is very kind of techie in a way. Like, I know it's all Stark tech, but at the same time, it's a slightly different version of Peter. It's not like the science whiz. I know Tom Holland's is smart as well, but he's not the same level of smart as the other two. So I'm curious to see like the relationship between the two of them, like from a technical standpoint. I think it'll be very interesting. Yeah.
I'd be very interested to see also if are we getting the actual Doc Ock from Tobey's movie, or is this just another Doc Ock from another multiverse that like we?
It's
got to
be from Tobey's, because he specifically says, "You're not my Peter." So,
Yeah,
like,
you're not
but
Peter
that
Parker.
But when
could
you're
be
saying
anyone.
my Peter, I feel like that could be anyone. But
Could
I
be
feel
anyone.
like with the look being the exact same and him saying,
I don't think he
"My
looks the
Peter,"
exact same though.
Do you think they play
Well,
us
I don't
like
think
that?
he looks. I don't know. I don't think he looks that much like Doc Ock from the second movie.
You think maybe
I think
he's
his
kind of
hair looks a lot different, and then I was also thinking that Jamie Foxx's character looking a lot different could be
maybe
part of
that's
that
the big
too.
reveal, is nobody is who you think they are. The Doctor Strange isn't who you think it is. It's not the Doc Ock
Lizard's
we
different.
think it is. The Lizard isn't the same one. It's not the same Sandman. Like, everybody were like, "Oh, this is the one we remember from the past." This is like, it's gonna start off in the beginning with, "Oh, this is our Doctor Strange," and it's not. This is our Doc Ock from Raimi.
It kind of adds up as well, because, you know, there have been a few of the villains have had redemption arcs at the very end. Like, you know, why is Sandman fighting? At the end of the third movie, he kind of turns good. He starts helping Peter at the
The
end
last
of that
scene with
movie.
Doc Ock is redemption. Yeah, he
Yeah,
takes
as
himself
well.
out.
So, like, it's like, why are these guys, unless they're brought in and just like scrambled
Did
and
Sandman have
confused?
redemption at the end? I don't remember.
He does, yeah.
The what?
He does. The Sandman at the end of the third movie, like, he has a redemption. Like, you find out exactly what happened to him. Him and Peter kind of square things off between
Oh
themselves.
yeah, with his daughter and
And
stuff, right?
he's not fighting him at the end. He like, there is a redemption there. So it's like, why is he now attacking Spider-Man in a different universe? Like, so it does actually add up. Like, it could be the case that this is not Raimi's Doc Ock. It's not Andrew's fucking Lizard.
Like, the only one that's true from our universe is Tom, and everybody else maybe, because then that gives us that Red Wedding potential. Like, everybody else is free game to die. That movie, once that realization clicks, that like maybe it could be halfway in the movie or towards the end, maybe in the climax, where that's a big realization that the only person that's our true, like, our MCU character is Tom. Then it puts everybody else on the chopping block, and that kind of puts that, oh shit, like, okay, what's about to happen moment. So that could be potential.
Yeah.
And I hope it turns that way, because then we'll actually have some surprises.
Yes. I'd love that. We need surprises at this point because I'd hate to go into this and be like, oh, well, I guess I'm here for the after credit scene again. What do we got?
Yeah.
The Flood is dying to kill Tom Holland. It is so fucking funny.
The flood needs Tom Holland needs to pay for someone to taste his food ahead of time, especially when he's in Canada. The flood is going to poison.
Oh my god. We red wedding
I
Tom.
hate Tom Holland because of his suits. What a like obnoxious asshole. He keeps wearing like these velvet suits like he's a style icon. Like, oh, I hate it, bro.
You know the black suit is just his original suit turned
Skywalker.
inside
Turned
out.
inside out.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that doesn't sound like it makes any sense, right?
it really doesn't.
No,
And
because like even when you think about like in Homecoming, right? Do you remember when like Ned is hacking the suit and stuff? Like it doesn't really look like it's a fucking inside out job, like you know.
yeah,
I don't know.
This
Flood
isn't-
is doing an
this isn't
Inception
like a
right now,
change
and
of
all us
underwear
hate
for him.
Tom. I'm just keeping you guys aware. You guys, the Flood has planted a hate Tom seed in all of our brains. It's already see it sprouting in Hoffman over there. It's already like way sprouted in Hoffman.
Here's another thing that
We're all gonna
I don't
hate
think
Tom
people have
soon.
thought about. What if there are multiple Spider-Man in the movie, but they're all variants of Tom Holland?
Oh, I hope so. That would make me so happy.
that would be so.
Oh my
That'd
god.
be
yes.
that'd be so upsetting.
Hey, Toby, you get to come back, but you have to pretend to be Tom the whole time.
Yeah, or like we're gonna use your suit and we're gonna use Andrew's suit just to fuck with people, but then when the masks come off, they're just different versions of Tom.
That's why they
Different
have a
haircuts.
Scooby-Doo
It's like
reference.
Earth-
It's because they keep
Earth
pulling off
319
masks
and all this
it's all
stuff.
Tom.
Yeah,
That's why there's a Scooby-Doo reference. They're just like
Yeah,
six
yeah,
Toms
yeah.
standing there looking. And they give us that Spider-Man scene where they're pointing at each other.
and it's all Toms.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta say,
It could happen.
As much as Spider-Man the fan base of Spider-Man has been annoying me, no offense, so much with all this. I'm like, do it. Yes, Tom Holland for all of them, please.
Yeah. I saw an amazing TikTok and it
What
was
if
like
the other
a bunch
two are
of Tom
Tom Hardy?
Hollands. Oh Jesus Christ Almighty!
Let's just have them all pour down from the sky like a bowl of cereal. Just nothing but Spider-Man dropping down, and they're all.
Oh no, my internet. Sorry, we lost the guys for a second. Come on.
all
Cast
versions
him
of
for
Tom.
Uncharted. Oh, we down?
Mm.
Oh,
We're back. Sorry.
and
We're back.
I think my Tom Holland's hate really started with his casting in Uncharted. Like he's ruined that movie for me, and now anything he's touched is ruined.
He was very good in Cherry.
He's the Ezra Miller for the MCU.
He was very good in Cherry.
Yeah, Jim.
I'm just putting that out there.
Cherry, okay, I'll watch Cherry. I
Yeah,
gotta
Cherry's
watch it.
Cherry's on Apple TV Plus, and he's
Is
actually
that one of his
very good.
newer things?
Yeah, and it's done with the Russos. He shot it directly after Endgame, and like he plays
Is it like a
an
serious thing?
yeah, he plays an army vet coming back from war, and he's like a drug addict and all this stuff. Like it's a very serious fucking role for
What
him.
platforms you say it's on?
It's on Apple.
Fuck you.
Yeah, sorry,
Alright,
bro. Sorry, bro. But it's very good.
You gotta get Apple TV, bro. It's the best thing going.
Yeah.
Today.
There actually is a
You're not
window.
wrong.
There's a Windows app for it now, and no joke, they are putting out series after series, and it's fucking fire. Like so much good stuff coming out. It's incredible. It's worth
2000s HBO.
yeah.
Like,
It's worth the $4.99.
Yeah,
It's
HBO
worth
is turning into the new Netflix, dude. I'm telling you what, bro.
whatever it is a
Still.
month, $7 or whatever. It's worth every fucking cent, bro. The shows are
I
incredible.
don't-
That show Foundation that Drunky told me to watch, bro.
Oh,
It's
that's
so
one.
good.
Woo, we got you.
Fuck
who's,
you.
Who's Durnky? Who you speaking of?
No, but
Better
seriously
pay
though,
up, son.
that show, the season finale was on yesterday, and like, oh my god, it's so good. It's incredible.
Yep.
I need to watch
I started watching
Invasion.
Wheel of Time.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes.
Watch the first one's good.
I'm impressed. Yeah, I'm impressed. I think it's going to be really good.
I thought Wheel of Time started off a little slow, and then like halfway into the episode, I'm like, oh, this is like a real fantasy show.
Yeah,
Like, here
yeah,
we
yeah.
fucking go.
Yeah, yeah, it's very good. Like my girlfriend's a big fan of the books, so she's kind of like telling me stuff and how it's a little different. The first episode, I think they changed a lot from the books, but as it's going on, it's getting so much better. So I have to watch episode 3 yet, but the first 3 came out yesterday, and then it's going to be weekly after that on Amazon Prime. So yeah, it's it's good. It's good.
Oh, cool! I can start a trial right now. 7 days free, and then $4.99 a month.
There you
Start
go.
benching.
Do you not
We're not
have Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime? No, I'm talking about Apple TV
Oh,
Are we
Plus.
talking
sorry,
about
sorry,
Amazon
sorry.
Prime? Are you talking about the thing that gives you a free sub if you're on Twitch and you just
Yeah,
click the
Prime
sub button and check
Gaming,
if
bro. Have
have
you
it
heard
there?
about it?
Yeah.
Have
Oh,
you
Prime
seen it?
Gaming, yeah.
Have you seen this thing? Have you heard about
You
it?
seen this? Have you, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? I was about to say the same thing, dude.
Yeah, no, the Apple TV thing, you can do it for 7 days for free. You'll probably watch the entire Foundation show and then just stop watching it. But there's so much good content on it that you will keep it up, like, I promise you.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
We're not
Yeah, I
sponsored
think
by Apple, by the way.
I think I might
Not
be
yet,
canceling
anyway.
Netflix soon and going to Apple. There's like nothing on Netflix that like I already watched Tiger King 2. I'm good for the next year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year they'll have some content for me. But
Witcher
like
season 2.
Yeah.
Yo,
Witcher,
when does
Witcher,
that come
that's,
out? Witcher season 2. I did forget about that.
I think it's December, is it? End of December? Or is it?
It's real soon.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
that'll
very
work
soon.
out for me. I'll probably be canceling it
And-
around the
Yeah,
start of the year.
Arcane. Arcane is meant to be
Apparently
fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I never
Oh
got
my
into
God.
League, and people are saying that even if you're not into League, it's good. So
Yeah, of course it would be.
Hmm.
but like I've literally never.
into the
I don't even know the
Spider-Verse, yeah.
heroes. I don't even know the heroes' names. Like I'm not even gonna hear a name of a legend
Yeah.
and be like, oh yeah, I know.
I don't think it's
It'll
important.
be
I
a
don't-
kid again.
Yeah, I
It'll
don't-
be a kid again.
Yeah, I don't think you need to know anything. I think you
Okay.
just go in. Like I don't know anything about League. I'm gonna watch it anyway. You know.
Yeah, like it helps, but like 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 you see Heimdall, you're like, oh my god, that's cool. But if you didn't know him from League, it'd still be cool because he's a cool looking character and he's interesting.
Hmm.
I think since they're doing weekly, I think it might be worth just to kind of wait and binge, right?
I think they did the first
already
three.
all out.
Oh, it's all. Yeah, it's
Oh,
all. They did. They
I thought
did
there
them
was
in like.
6 episodes
Did they do
out.
them in like chunks of 3 or 4 or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
threes.
Yeah.
Which
Okay,
is-
so there's only 6 for the first season.
9.
I think there's 10, 9 or
Oh,
10.
okay.
But yeah,
No.
I noticed a lot of shows are doing that now. They drop the first 3 episodes at once, and then they kind of go weekly after
wonder-
that or whatever.
I
Mhm.
wonder how much Netflix had to pay for licensing for League of Legends.
I don't know.
That
Probably a
has to
boatload.
be
Did you see?
the.
Did you see
chunky boy.
they lost Star Trek Discovery like 2 days before the release?
Good. It's a terrible show.
I'm not a Trekkie.
I'm not either. My girlfriend is.
You
and
said
She's
that
like,
so exasperated, Hoffman. You were like, God.
it's
It's
just
the fucking worst shit I've ever watched in my life. It's the worst. I love Star Trek. And they're like, oh yeah, Star Trek Discovery is where the humans have to go to the alien races and teach them how to be good because only the humans have morality. Ba, 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 ba. Like, it's so fucking dumb, dude. I can't stand it, bro.
Oh my god.
Fully
That's
triggered. All right, we know Hoffman's triggered. It's
Oh my
called Star Trek
God.
Discovery.
that's STD for you.
Oh shit. Have you been checked for STDs lately?
What are you trying to say about the lady? No, I'm just- How dare I'm just joking.
Uh oh.
I'm leaving, dude. I'm not trying to get slapped by her.
Yeah.
She says a
Put that
nasty
down.
woman's places in the resistance in the back.
Yeah, I know.
She's a nasty woman.
She is. Yeah, Riot really did pump money. Riot wants to like really expand their brands outside of just gaming, man. Like they're going for it.
I'm
And
surprised it took
Arcane
them
is
this
on-
long.
Well, they did it right, man, because Arcane is like into the Spider-Verse level of animation. Every frame is a picture. It's an art piece, man. Every
Who
frame.
did it? Is it Netflix
Some
animators?
French
or-
studio. Yeah, some
Okay.
French animation studio took care of it. And it honestly made me hate What If. Because the animation is so good and so cinematic that I'm like, What If is a piece of trash of animation and we deserve better. Like, we deserve way better than What If, bro. And Arcane
Disney Plus
shows it.
Day. You better
Oh.
show up next year.
Oh my god, bro.
Did we already establish that the animation studio for What If was like in their infancy? Like they were barely starting to work on it?
Didn't
What, they all just
Hoffman
graduate?
say-
Like,
but didn't Hoffman say
I
they
mean,
were getting like direct
give 'em a
fucking
job.
like help from what was the other studio you said?
I don't know.
I thought someone here said that they were getting direct like guidance and mentorship from a really well accredited.
I found with What If, like, you noticed the animation changing as it went on. Like, it was as if they were learning as they were doing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Disney animators. I'm a dumbass. Didn't the Disney animators kind of try to mentor him a little
Probably.
bit? Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
They're pretty tight knit at Disney.
But like you
Probably-
said, like that kind of stuff hits hard when you have that and then a direct competitor just coming out and being like, "Oh, that's what you guys are doing with animation." Bam.
Yeah. Man. Then,
What do you think,
else happened?
talking about animation, what do you think of Disney doing a prequel to Homecoming in animation form? So they're doing Spider-Man freshman year, which is going to be his origin story, but they're doing it in animation instead of live action. I think it's a smart move, to be honest, because I don't think
bad move.
I don't think we need to see it in live action again. And I do find myself asking the question, like, how did he get bit? Is it different? How did Uncle Ben die? Like, I want to know the answers to these questions, but I don't want to see it in a movie. I don't want time wasted in a film, but I want to see it.
Though, is a good choice, especially when you have, like, because it's so risky. Because if some people don't see the animation to match what they believed Tom to look like and stuff, like, it's so risky to go through both mediums there and say one's going to be animated, one's going to be, because you guys know what it's like, especially when we watch What If, when it just, some of those characters didn't look the way, but the voices were the same or whatever, and it just didn't feel right to us. So it's really, I think it's a lot riskier to do both mediums that way. I think if you have like 2 or 3, especially with as many films as Tom's been in, you just got to stay live action at that point.
I think maybe it might work better if Tom actually does the voice work for it, and I think he might, just because it's linked to his trilogy specifically. If he doesn't do it and the likeness is nothing like him as well, I understand what you're saying. I think that could potentially damage it, but at the same time, the way I think it's all going to go is after this film, I think Tom Holland disappears from the MCU for a while. So I think we're going to want to see more Spider-Man, and we're going to want to see more of that version of him. So it's like when that animated series comes out, you're going to be like, oh, this is amazing to have him back, you know?
I think if they do, I agree with you. If they do his voice and they do that animation style where they do like the mocap on him or whatever, and it gets their like facial expressions in with it, and they like line it up perfectly, I think that might work. But that's the only way I think it works, because like if you don't get Tom in there, you don't get like that really good connection where you're like, all right, this is the guy, this is his origin story. It's not going to feel like his origin. It's going to feel like a separate Spider-Man project.
Flo just made a very good point, and we did mention this during a few of the What If podcasts, but, you know, some of these actors aren't voice actors. Like, it's a different ball game. It's a different profession. It's a different skill. Yep. You know, there's some people that are some of the best voice actors on the planet, and you don't see them in anything live action because they can't do it. They're not live action actors. They're voice actors. So
random anecdote. I was watching these. I was falling asleep to these random videos of like South Park commentaries over their own seasons, and they do like 5-minute commentaries. They said Jennifer Aniston showed up at like the height of her popularity when she was with Brad Pitt, and like they were both big fans of South Park, and she came in to do a voiceover for her character, and Trey and Matt were literally saying that she was in there in the booth like shaking, and they had to take breaks and calm her down because this person who's such a good actress couldn't handle the sound booth stuff. So you're exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a different game.
I think I really need to see more about the Spider-Man thing, because is it just specifically going to cover a time period? Like they're only going to do one season, or is it going to be like one of those shows where like
special?
Where he's like a freshman for like, you know, 3 seasons. You know what I mean? It's like
Ash Ketchum's 11 for 35 years. What's happening?
Right.
Yeah.
What's the secret?
What's the animation look like? What's the goal of the show? What's the scope of it? Like I want to know a lot more. I feel like it's really gonna be targeted as kids. I think it's like the I'm Groot show they're gonna do.
Yeah.
It just, you know, I'm probably never gonna watch it, to be honest.
Probably
unless you want us
to.
Well, I will definitely watch it. We don't have to. We definitely don't have to. We don't have to cover it, but I will definitely watch it because there's just a few questions that I always find myself asking. It's like, how did he get bit? Like, what happened? Like, where was he when it happened? All that sort of thing.
Yeah. Especially after seeing Tobey get bit, like rewatching that again this week, you're just like, you guys want to know a funny anecdote? I was telling Finto about this. One of Michelle's coworkers actually worked at the ecological whatever place in LA during the filming of this, and she had they used an actual Black Widow to film that scene, and Tobey was like off screen so scared of the Black Widow, and they were like, you're gonna be fine, like you're gonna be fine. He was scared of it, and they obviously CGI the bite, but she had that container for a few years and then like gave it away to someone, the container that had that spider in.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't think about it and gave it away. Just imagine having that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the container that, yeah. Finto would have it and fill his bathwater in, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
like that up.
I have it on a shelf or something. It'd be
filled with Tobey's bathwater. Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I'd be drinking it. It would be gone. I would have drank it.
I'd sip it. You know, once a year on Tobey's birthday, I take a sip.
Jesus Christ.
Kyle's acting like he wouldn't be starstruck if he saw Tobey Maguire right now. You'd be fucking spinning. You'd be doing like you'd be so giddy. I would too.
Yeah, Tobey's a legend.
I don't know. Tobey's over the hill for me, man.
I love how cool he's been throughout this whole thing. Like, have you seen any of the videos of him getting caught on the street now? Everyone's like, "Are you the new Spider-Man movie?" And he's just kind of like, just ignoring them, just kind of strutting around.
Dude, he's too cool for school. He's been
too
around
cool.
this shit for
He's too
long.
cool, bro.
Yeah, he went through the 2000s paparazzi. He can't be affected now.
Yeah. He's chill as fuck. Like, it's so
The
funny.
paparazzi that made Britney shave her head off. Her hair. He's built different, bro.
I love how everyone's defending Britney now and like sticking up for her, like she did a fucking shave her head. Like she went a little off the rails, okay? Like maybe they did the conservatorship a little too more strongly, but
No one's defending is
that being off the rails.
That person that was under the blanket. Leave Britney alone. That person's like, "Where's my fucking redemption arc, motherfuckers?"
I think she's still
I was writing
off
about
the
this
rails.
years ago.
She's still off the rails.
He is.
Yeah, fact. Fact. Yeah, so next week we gotta watch Tobey 3, and we're gonna have 2 episodes. We're gonna have 2 episodes of Hawkeye. Hawkeye's next Thursday.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Yeah, so we got the double bill on the 24th.
So we're gonna have to start doing. We're gonna have to do movie those 2 episodes. Then next week we're gonna have to do Andrew 1, and then Are they gonna be 2 episodes every week, or they're just
No,
releasing
I think it'll be weekly after, but they're doing because I think.
Okay.
Am I right in thinking it's out
Yeah,
on the
I thought they said 2-episode
24th,
release.
which is the day before Thanksgiving, right? Am I right? That's right, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
25th.
It's the last Thursday of the month.
Thanksgiving is next Thursday.
Yeah, so next Wednesday, I believe, there's 2 episodes of Hawkeye. And then I think it's weekly then after that. So I think for next week, we heavily focus on Hawkeye, the openers, and then we'll also do Spidey 3, I think, then to close out the podcast. I think it'll be hilarious.
I'm sure there'll be more rumors between now and I'm sure the rest of the movie will be leaked between now. So you can just, have a full movie review.
Like I said, I'm keeping myself eyes closed at this
No,
point.
you're dead right, I think. And I don't think there's going to be anything else out about the film from now till release. Like, it's done. Like,
Well,
that's
the problem is our algorithms. I don't know about you guys, but like our algorithms on YouTube are so heavily like skewed that like I almost can at least avoid the titles. At least most of the time it'll say like Spider-Man spoilers. I can just keep scrolling, not like watch the content. But like my algorithm's so screwed that I'm just like I'm constantly having to skip past them.
You gotta create a new YouTube account. I got 3 YouTube accounts, and so it's like I got one YouTube
This is my
account all for
spoiler-free
Marvel.
YouTube account.
Yep.
This is my puppies
that's
YouTube
very clever.
account. I only come to this YouTube to watch puppies.
That is very clever.
Hoffman puppies 69 420.
Yeah, like I
Found it.
I'm gonna watch all the usual content that I watch anyway. Like I'll follow the creators that I want to follow, but I don't think that there's going to be much else kind of leaking at this stage. I think we're kind of in the home stretch now, and I think everyone's just gonna wait for it. There'll be a few TV spots, and they'll do the official clips and stuff. I won't watch any of that. I don't think. I might watch the TV spots, but I won't watch the official random fucking clips that Marvel
What
are
if
doing
they do
now.
another one of those? What if they do another one of those? Here's the first 4 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, no. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. That's one thing. Like, I'm all for
So
trailers.
stupid.
I love watching trailers and hyping myself up, but this shit that they're doing now, where they're throwing in like an official like 4 minutes of the film, and it's like just a randomly picked 4 minutes of the movie. I'm like, this is fucking so stupid. Like
This is so stupid.
yeah,
Like,
so stupid. Like
movies aren't foods. You can't appetizer me into seeing a movie. Okay, if your trailers haven't worked, you can't appetizer me any further.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do
So
you think we get a trailer before the movie comes out that has all the Spider-Man in it, or do you
No.
think they're gonna make people go to the movie?
I think
theaters?
until the actual.
You're going
I think
to the
until
Probably
like,
the movie theater.
I think they have the week or two after the movie comes out, they have a trailer like that after it's like the news has been blown up with it and stuff.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
think they have like try to get people back into the theaters because how they always do like a random trailer a month in where they're trying that second wave. I think they might though because they'd be dumb not to.
have you seen any of this shit? I know I don't know how like real these are. I think we live in a time where anything could be fake on the internet. Like, but there's a bunch of like shit on like TikTok of like people that are like in like movie theaters all over the world, and like it's like, oh, I went to see Eternals, and like they flip the camera around and it's like a Spider-Man poster on the wall in a theater. Like, they're clearly in a theater, but I'm like, is the picture fake that they're showing or something? I don't know if it's like really good Photoshop or whatever, but like there's been like posters leaked and it's like has all 3 Spider-Men on it, like, but I'm like, is this shit real or not? Like, I don't know. Like, it's such a weird time that we live in, like that, like people can get so good at faking stuff that like what looks like footage that's captured on someone's camera phone could be fake. Like, It's crazy.
Mhm.
It's crazy, and like shit like that, we just can't avoid, you know. But
Yeah, but it's all in the process of waiting. Like if you think that it's a possibility, then by the time you go see the movie, you'll see that there's more posters posted,
yeah,
and you'll see like which one was real, which one were fake.
yeah, whew, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So like next week, definitely big focus on Hawkeye, and then I can't wait to hear what you guys think of Spider-Man 3. Seriously, it's gonna be. My sides are gonna be sore from laughing. I think it's gonna be fucking one of some of the funniest shit that we have ever done on this podcast. Like,
I
it's
bet you're already
so-
prepping clips to bring up. Be like,
I actually might. I think that's a really good idea, bro. I might bring up some of my favorite parts and we'll like watch them live and react to them.
just to laugh together.
Yeah, no, I really do think that would be
Dude, you
fantastic.
cannot. I will lose my mind if you give me the freaking Eric Foreman. If you know what I'm saying, like that
Yeah, that's a great line.
line triggers me, bro. It's
My
so
spider
bad.
senses are tingling, if you know what I'm
Yes,
saying.
it's so bad.
That'd piss me off so much if someone did that to my girlfriend as well. That would just have me so angry, like,
With that fucking dipshit look on their face.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
uh,
Like, no.
yeah. The black suit looks so cool, though. I think they did, like, you know,
it
Sam
does.
Raimi knew what he
Yeah.
was doing with that sort of thing. And even, like, the Venom suit doesn't look too bad. Like, I hate Topher Grace's face in there, but, like, the suit itself doesn't look too bad, you know?
Mm.
So, I don't know. Do we have anything else we want to talk about, guys? Or we're just hit 2 hours, so if we don't, I think
Yeah,
we can
I actually
break it up.
heard there was news from your side of the world that Cork is the proper capital of Ireland and fuck Dublin.
I can't believe you actually said that. Yeah, okay.
I told you I had to, man.
I know.
He's
No,
in-
it's not.
It is.
I am in the capital of the country. This is where everything happens here.
You live in Cork?
No, yeah, of course, yeah. I'm from Cork.
Okay.
No, you can understand what I'm saying, so of course I'm not from Cork. Have you ever heard anyone from Cork speak? You
I don't think I've heard
they-
anyone from
I
Dublin
need
speak,
I
no.
need subtitles, bro. I need subtitles.
I need subtitles.
Yeah. Seriously, bring up the Cork accent there, you'd be shocked. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for next week, Hawkeye.
The Flood had a girlfriend from Cork. Is that actually true? Or are you messing?
I love how all Americans say their girlfriends are from Canada. All Canadians say Cork.
Oh, so you really have a girlfriend in Cork, Blood?
Oh
What's
my
her name?
I'm telling you to call her, but you want to fucking
Show us a
understand her.
picture.
Met her at
Show us a
Bandcamp.
picture. Blood, is that something you cut out of a magazine? No, I see the glue stick marks on the back. No.
Her name is Fiona. Okay, that might add up. I can see it. I can see it. It could be real.
Good up, man. Everyone I meet from Canada, I'm gonna say that to from now on. That was good.
Oh, that's amazing. Fair play, Flood. Fair
15
play.
years ago, and was she imaginary too?
Poor Flood. Leave him alone. He won't come on to the show.
Hey, if you guys are excited about Hawkeye or any of the content that's coming out and you're watching on YouTube or any of our other platforms, make sure you comment and like the video below.
Yep.
You
Thank you
guys
so
got
much,
anything else
guys.
for the week.
That's it.
That's it,
Yep.
guys.
Marvelous. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Appreciate you.
Later,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.